Hello, everyone. Just waiting for more people to come in so we can go ahead and introduce our wonderful special guest today. And waiting for more people to come in. Make sure that you like, subscribe to the channel, and also share the video. And we'll just wait a little bit here so we can chill out. Hello, everybody coming in. Hello, L7. Hello, Tracy, J-Don, Jen Wins. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Hey, Red Wings. Saw you earlier. We are here to have a fabulous discussion. Hey, Fifi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Catherine. Here. I'm just going to wait a few more moments and then we'll get right into it. Hey, Shell. D-Dot. All right. And make sure you all hit that like button. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. And subscribe. And share. All right. Let's get into it. I'm going to turn the music down and introduce our special guest. All right. Thanks so much. Hello, allies, travelers, networkers, good trolls, and everybody else in between. All right. Thanks so much, you guys, for being here. We're going to have a beautiful discussion. Today, I have an awesome, amazing special guest here. I have Miss Mona Symone, ATL. And I'm really excited because I've been wanting to speak with Miss Mona for a very long time. I'm going to try not to call you Miss Mona because we're probably around the same age. And you're probably going to feel like, like, like more my senior or whatever. But I want to definitely introduce you to the audience and everyone that's coming in. And we're going to have an awesome discussion. I've kind of, let you know, beforehand some of the questions that I have, but really I want to give you the floor and everything. Would you like a moment to introduce yourself?
That was a great intro, by the way. You guys are really like stepping it up a notch with the interviews because before we used to just bring them on and start asking them questions. But not much more to add at all. Just my at Mona Simone ATL. I can be found on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and even on YouTube. I'm like Mona Simone ATL everywhere. So you can find me there. And that's about it.
Excellent. And I have Miss Mona's channel in the chat. So if the moderators that are here, if you can circulate that throughout the chat, that would be awesome. So let's kind of like we'll start off like an introduction of Mona. to this particular audience and to, newer people who are coming on to YouTube. Can you tell us about your history on YouTube? Because a lot of people, like the older people, may know you from, if they hear like some of the names, like whether it's, for example, Tasha K or, names like that. Um, I want to hear it from you, right? I want to hear
Mhm.
from you. Can you explain?
Um, just my experience on YouTube or social media in general.
Well, social media in general. I think that would be great.
I started out on social media like 20 years ago, like during the AOL chat days and Black Planet and Downlink for the gay people that knew about Downlink. It was like an alternative Facebook site. And I used to write poetry like on MySpace, and I would share my poetry and shit. And I built a large following by doing that. And I was also into photography and stuff, your regular young lesbian hippie. And my fan base started growing. So by the time I went through Black Planet and came to Facebook, I had amassed a large following on Facebook. Because I was in school at the time and me being a little rebel in my heart, I decided that I was going to go online and teach everybody everything that I was learning in school. And so I created a group. We called it Critical Minds, a Society of Thinkers. I had friends. I always jokingly say I have friends. Well, it's not a joke, but I had friends with felonies to friends with PhDs. So, I figured I'd take the lessons and put them out there, whether we debate on philosophy, psychology, whatever. And I did that. And it grew pretty large. And of course, that of course enabled me to meet more content creators. I even had a YouTube page for a short span, like back in 2009, where we did collabs and everything, before monetization. So everybody loved and supported each other. And then school got tough, so I sort of backed away from social media. So I've always had the Brain Nation, Critical Minds, a Society of Thinkers on Facebook. Never really had an issue. Just urban intellectuals. You ain't got to have a lot of degrees. You just got to be a thinking person, right?
Right.
And I started getting in because I knew so many people. And my I was diagnosed with Asperger's at 14, but I'm high functioning. So they call it neurodivergent now, and it's just in a lot of thoughts, in a lot of ways our brains diverge from like neurotypical people. So everything, almost everything in life, is probably crazy, but if I see an issue, I see a way to fix it. Like zero ones and zero ones. If I see, a product or something promising, I see a way to profit from it, how to turn it into a business. And so I had the business idea to go back to Facebook and rebuild and do my branding and stuff on Facebook. I even had an Apple podcast for a time. I started because I was going with the networking because I know so many people, and I network fairly easily. They started hiring me to do like some things behind the scenes, like brand management, and teach them
Mm,
this little thing and that little thing, because we all learn from each other.
right.
And so I was doing that, and whether we were friends or I was working from them, paid, of course, because she don't work for free. Um, I was around. I got around. Like my name was I still am pretty well known in Atlanta, in the LGBTQIA community and the heterosexual community. Like everybody know me, um, because I've been around so long too, like 20 years. And then one day I was in with T.S. Madison on her show and her audience. And I had on this blonde wig, girl. I never wear color in my hair. And I was just trying out this blonde wig. I thought it was kind of cute, sort of like a femme fatale type look, right?
Mhm.
And so I'm sitting in the audience with this blonde. The wig was gorgeous. I don't really think it fit me, but the wig was gorgeous. And the content creator that you mentioned earlier, that does celebrity gossip, saw me. So she decided to, in her video, I guess a review of the show, throw some shade at me. So I ignored it because, I'm not, there's no B sector at this point. People
Right.
ain't really picking up the internet to argue back and forth with people. Like, at least I had never seen it. And then, and people weren't going live like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the Star Marie thing came up. So I reached out to Star Marie. If y'all remember, Star Reed was accusing Cardi B of being colorist. And so at the time, there was a lot of, outside of Cardi B and Star Marie, there was a lot of talk about colorism within the black community. And so me and my little nerdy group of black people and urban people, because they weren't all black, but urban was a requirement.
Right. Urban was a requirement. Uh-oh. She dropped off. I'm pretty sure she will hop back on. So bear with us, everyone. But she's going through the history of, how we know Mona Simone. And for those who do not know Mona Simone, we're letting her, educate us here. You there,
Girl,
hon?
I had a phone call. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully he'll call back. Well, not
Okay.
right now. Hopefully he calls back another time. But as soon as I get on my phone talking to you about content creators start calling. And so where was I?
You're
I ignored it
yep.
because there was
Mhm.
no beef, and it was just like, so this girl that I don't even know. I know she's a content creator, but I don't know her like in real life. So I'm like, this girl that I don't even know made fun of my wig. Okay, fine, whatever. And then the Star Marie thing came up. We was talking about colorism. I reached out to Star Marie for an interview. Star Marie said she had no other interviews scheduled at the time. I said, all right, great. I said we weren't calling it exclusive. I just had certain requirements whenever I did interviews so that that person can focus on what they were doing for my group, because I would have them record videos like drops and stuff like that. Like, the girl professional, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But and so I told her that I needed her for the week. I was like, this week I said, don't do no more interviews, yada yada yada. And we signed a contract, yada yada yada. Everything was cool. She then came to me like a couple of days later and said that that content creator that you mentioned that does celebrity gossip, that has like $4 million in debt now, had reached out to her for an interview. And Star Marie told her, she said, no, I'm interviewing with Mona Simone. Why it had to be Mona Simone, the girl she was picking on her blonde wig?
Uh-oh.
Why that bitch got the pop? So you know what it's looking like, right?
The
It's like it's like the
shade.
universe want us to fight.
Right, the
Period.
shade of it all. Yes.
Right. So so Star Marie tell the girl, Star Marie ain't really wrapped too tight,
Right?
but she was cool for the time. But she tell the girl, she say, I'm doing an interview with Mona Simone and I can't interview with nobody else, so you can interview with me after. Oh, Tasha did not like that. Like how this little Facebook bitch that ain't even on YouTube gonna interrupt, da 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 da, singing like that. She went to calling all our mutual friends. This stuff
Mm.
y'all don't know. When they call our friends calling me like, girl, you done pissed off Tasha K. I say, I don't even know a fucking Tasha K. Okay?
Right.
Look, so
What we talking
so
about?
right. And so she finally, nobody would give her no dirt on me, because you got to understand, the internet is one thing, but my name thorough in these streets. I've been around far too long. I had never been known for nothing fake, fraudulent, nothing. I'm one of the realest bitches. I'm as real as they come.
Mhm.
And I'm
Right.
successful, and I'm about my money, and I know how to get it. Minus my little struggle a couple years ago. Everybody got to go through a struggle at some point in their life. It took me 40 years to get to that motherfucking struggle. So
I've
I've
been
been doing
there.
something right.
I've
Cause that
been
was
there.
my first motherfucking struggle, bitch. That's why I wanted up out of here. I was like, what the hell is this? Problems that I
Right.
can't solve? So but anyway, she went to calling everybody. Nobody would like encourage her, and then they like, nah, leave Mona alone. She's smart. She might look nerdy, but she's still a little hood. You know what I'm saying? You might not want to
Right.
mess with
Oh,
that
I
girl.
understand that.
So this girl went on the internet. She started recording videos. Like it was like every day. It felt like somebody would send me a clip. Is she talking about you? Like everybody in Atlanta was like, is she talking about you? Like, what did you do, Mona? I'm like, I ain't do nothing. So she made all these videos like cursing me out, saying all kind of stuff. You know how she do, like making up stuff, trying to find dirt on me. And so I got mad, and finally I did what niggas do when you have a nigga moment. And I clicked record and I politely read her for her ass. Now it
Now
just
this
so happened.
correction, but this
Mhm.
is the one I mentioned, or this is Star Marie?
This is Sasha K that
Oh,
made the
okay,
video.
got you. Okay, just
Yeah,
for
yeah. I just finally
clarification.
started
Okay.
saying the name child because I don't even be good with all that makeup or fake name shit.
Okay, it's
So,
okay. I
and
think it's
plus she,
okay. I mean, I
yeah,
mean,
no, it's
we're being
absolutely okay.
honest,
I'm
right?
not even
Yeah.
saying nothing she wouldn't know,
r-
and then I wouldn't say, publicly or behind them, but I don't talk behind people back.
Right.
Everything I feel I can say publicly without any fear because I don't fear shit on 2 feet or four or six or eight. But so she started recording these videos. I recorded a video back. I read her. Now, I'm from Florida. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a Scorpio. And I'm a wordsmith. And I'm a little crazy. So, my everybody seemed to like me cursing her out. Like
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I had 400 people following me on YouTube, and that was just from my personal Facebook page. 484 people decided to click subscribe because all I did was every now and again upload a video or a discussion from Facebook. So I was not a YouTube content creator. On my first page, she took me from like 0 subscribers to like 78. I had to put the video up. Then of course, everything I do is fake, so everybody said it was fake.
Mhm.
But it took me up to like 70 something thousand subscribers in like less
Wow.
than a few weeks. And it was weird to me, Ali. It was like this is gross. Like this don't like that's not the reaction you expect to get from cussing people out because I know people see YouTube as a job, but if I go in my 9 to 5 job and I cuss a lot of motherfuckers out, it's gonna be a very different response.
Exactly.
So I didn't know that many people, part of my little naive ass, but I didn't know that many people was fucking messy in the world. Like I didn't know people would want to watch no mess like that. But I was sincerely upset. I really was. I'm just like, girl, you don't call all my friends. You know what I'm saying? You mad over what? Because I had on a blonde wig. Like that's literally how it started. And
So
I don't know.
would you even say like you were part of the start in a sense of the beef sector? Just
Oh
going
no,
out like
I absolutely was. It was back then. You was either a wino or a brain. You was with Kaya or with T.S. Madison or Cardi B or Nicki Minaj. Like everything was split, and they put us all in these categories. The only thing that was different was I didn't have nothing against nobody really, which whereas other people had strong feelings against each other. But I was new to all the social media stuff. I had not been doing that before. You know what I'm saying? Not on
Mhm.
YouTube, like how the YouTube do it.
Right.
Facebook is a lot different.
Oh yeah, Facebook's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
I don't even mess with that part of social media. But no, I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, we can continue. I'm listening.
Yeah, so we got into it, and I was disgusted, but it was I don't want to say bittersweet because that's not the word, but there's a word that means I liked it and I hated it at the same time. I was indifferent to it because I got monetized off that channel, created a backup channel, which is this one that has like 11,000 subscribers on it. I closed down the other channel after the 2019 incident, and I got this one monetized too. And or is this the first one and the second one was the backup? Anyway, I don't know. I have to look into the what you call it. But either way, she and for that month or 2 months that we were arguing back and forth,
Mhm.
she made like $3,800. So that was like extra money. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect that, and I didn't know how to take that. Like I didn't want to look forward to money as a reward for cursing people out because that's not what I was about. I was about uplifting black women, especially in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah, I'm from the hood, but I'm not on none of the shit that Tasha cares on. I've never done that, and having to explain to people why I'm online calling this girl a bitch and a hoe. In hindsight, it was very embarrassing. It really was. My
Yeah.
actions, not even hers. But
Well,
yeah,
we
that's how I
always
got here. And then boof poof the B sector. We created a monster, and it's this. It is what is it? It is what it is.
okay, yeah, and we always kinda start off on YouTube, um, with a certain, way that we want to run or create our channel, but sometimes it turns a little bit different when we start to interact with other content creators, subscribers, and other people that are on YouTube. So I totally understand. Like, it will change you a little bit, or it won't. I won't even say it will change you, but it will bring out the side of you that you weren't looking to present to your audience, if you will.
Look, it's I what I've noticed is it's a thing with them likes and a person's level of security and insecurity, or if they're going through a lot at the time and they're depressed. Like, I understand because I was there one time, so I know what it's like to want to turn to the internet and release all your frustrations and your stress and cuss somebody out. I know how good that feels. One of my
Right. Yeah.
friends said it's like therapy. I said, you know what? I used to think that, but I think it's more like heroin because it feels good, but it's gonna hurt you later.
Right. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
and people be having withdrawals from the internet. Like when I was going live, when I was in all that back pain and had to have back surgery and all that shit,
Hmm.
I was going live like several times a day religiously, like
Wow.
addicted to this shit. Like if I'm at the store and too many hours gone by, I'm finna go live because I know somebody talking about me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It was a beast. It
Like
really
I
was. And
Yeah, yeah, kinda like I like to say, you had to get your get back, especially,
mhm.
if you're immobilized. I'm not quite sure your condition because I
Right.
do wanna know, like, if it was a car
Hmm.
accident or whatever, but the thing
It
is,
was a car accident. Yeah.
okay. Yep, and it's sometimes when you're in that state, it's just like, I gotta get my get back. I'm
Right.
impaired right now. I can't, go out and do it to you
Yeah.
physically, so I gotta get my get back in some way. So,
Mhm.
definitely
And
continue.
even more than that, I'm miserable and I'm sad and I want to take my
Mm.
anger out because anger does make you feel better. Anger is a cure for depression.
Oh,
It really is. Get
absolutely.
fucking angry and see how fucking depressed you feel. Not so much. So
Right.
I think that's why people do it. And so now that I know that and I've gone through that, which on one hand I'm grateful for the experience, but then on the other hand I feel like it still was a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But uh, now that I can look back at it, I see it differently from when I was in it. When I was in it, I could justify
Mm.
every action, everything that I did. Every time I cut somebody out, it's because they came from me first. I had morals for the bullshit. I had a
Right.
code of ethics for the bullshit. Like, that's oxymoronic,
I'm
and
gonna write down some things too,
hmm
because when we get into more of my picking your brain, for the
hmm
psychological stuff, we're gonna come back because I want to hear more about that, anger and depression,
right.
combination here.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
so go,
yeah.
keep going. I'm just writing some
From
stuff
from
down.
one psych major to another.
Yes,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
so when I look back on it now, I know that when people attack me and they're not rational, we may not agree on everything, and I get that, but there's no reason for two people who don't know each other to be cussing each other out on the internet. We'll probably never see each other. Nothing that we do will directly impact each other's lives. I don't even know you enough to really be mad at you. So why are we cursing and yelling to the top of our lungs and trying to destroy each other's lives from afar? Because we're unhappy. And if you listen, you know that a lot of these people are unhappy because they on the internet all the time, but they got spouses. Relate marriages don't survive like that.
Mhm.
Marriages are like roses. You got to water it. And if
Oh
she's
yeah.
online all the time and not making love to her husband, and sadly we've heard about some of those marriages that ended because a person couldn't give up the YouTube antics.
Correct.
They're miserable. You hear the kids in the background, wanting some attention or wanting something to eat and then pushing them away. Or you can tell that their life is painfully lonely. They have no
Mm.
friends, their family ain't fucked up with them. And then for some of them that go live, you can literally see the poverty that they live in. And I'm not judging you. I'm saying I understand because for those 2 years almost that I was going back and forth with a lot of people in these YouTube streets, I was fucking miserable.
Mm.
But I was a strong friend, so I couldn't tell nobody because of course I ain't had no shoulder to lean on. Everybody was leaning on mine, so I had to carry that myself. And I got in a fucking accident. Excuse my language. I got in an accident. It made some disc that was probably already about to slip in my back. Cut my circulation off to my right leg, and I couldn't feel my right leg, and I couldn't barely walk for 6 months. Running was out of the question.
Wow. Mm.
And as I turn to the internet, because I've taken a leave from work, I'm fighting these people at work. They approving me one moment, denying me the next. I don't work for this company for a decade. I done paid all this money into it, and the day before back surgery, they still deny me. So I turn to the internet and I say, I'm gonna educate them on YouTube now. On YouTube, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use this YouTube platform because it happened right around the same time, and I'm gonna use it to. I can edit. I've been in film. I got an IMDb page. I've done acting and producing. You know what I'm saying? In the
Mhm.
LGBT community, mostly, I've done a lot, and so I'm like, I can do this. So I came up, was doing my little thug dizzle on the live, teaching people about polyamory, spirituality, like just doing my black girl excellence. And I began to, while I'm sitting in pain, and I began to get comfortable with people. People flocked to me, especially people that found out about me from the Tasha K thing, and I just start sharing with them, and sometimes a little oversharing. Like, I don't believe I should have ever shared with them that I was struggling with my back and needing back surgery, because when the tides turned on me, and they do eventually turn on most of us, when
Right.
it turned on me, that was the thing that they picked at. They put up wheelchairs. And then when I tried to defend myself and argue that, hey, y'all, this is immoral. Nobody should be talking about your medical issues and making fun of you because you're disabled. And I said that with a lot more expletives and,
Right, right. You
a
know how we
southern
do.
dialect. I cussed their ass out, but that's basically what I was saying. And they turned around and say, well, you don't have to worry about her because we would never do that to somebody who was really going through it. But she's lying. She's a scammer. She's not really hurt. They put up wheelchairs talking about she's faking it. I went to the hospital, went live, and showed them me in the hospital and me with the leg compressions on and everything.
Mhm.
Me getting wheeled out. You know what they said, Allie? I
Right.
hired everybody. The girl that can't even get her short term disability company to pay her, with a
Wow.
household that the expenses definitely needs both incomes.
Mhm.
And they said I bought the side of the hospital out, hired people, and I just so I could tape that from my iPhone 8. You know, it's
Mm.
crazy, but it gets crazier. I mean, it's one thing to say it. Anybody could tell a story, but people believed it. It
Yeah.
was crazy. So anyway, yeah, I was miserable at that time. So when I look at people now that do stuff like that, I'm grateful to the ancestors that I'm not that miserable no more. And I don't, if I can help them, I will. I don't want to argue with nobody. I'm not perfect now. You still can get it. I still will cut your ass out on any rainy Tuesday, but that's not what I'm here for. That's not my path. That's not my purpose. I've healed from 2019, so there's a lot of things that I need to do in this life that I'm going to focus on that. And now that
Mhm.
I'm in a better situation where I'm not physically in pain and going through all that, I've cleared everything out of my life that I felt didn't serve me or
Right.
wasn't necessary for me to keep. And I'm just in a different headspace. But at the same time, I don't look down on them, because when I was going through all that, all it would have took probably was a sincere person to reach down and grab my hand. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? But,
Understand. Yeah.
but, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I absolutely understand that. And sometimes one like quote unquote like false rumor can take
Hmm.
you sometimes years and years to make correct, especially on social media. You
If
know,
ever.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, if ever, you'll always be the person who was quote unquote like me, very tipsy on Passage A's live
Oh,
on
that's all,
Sunday night.
girl. Girl,
You know?
they got me down for a scammer. I done scammed this dude out of $8,000. I done fake my wanting to
Yeah,
unborn
yeah.
myself. I done
Mhm.
did that. They say, what else they say? I don't have 7 degrees. I ain't got none of my degrees, girl. But it gets better. My
Girl,
name
we
ain't
know
even
you ain't
Mona
graduated
Timon.
high school. That
Girl,
we
no. I
know that.
almost got that GED though. I was a few points too short.
You can still make it. You
I
still you
think I
can still
can,
do it.
girl.
You
Yeah,
can
a
still do
non-traditional
it.
student, right?
It's in you.
Yeah.
It's in you,
I
girl.
believe it. I
You
believe in myself, girl. So
then you
I'm gonna
can
go on and get
achieve it.
that. Yeah. So they crazy said my name ain't my name. Oh no, it got worse than a name. They said my children were not my children.
Oh, wow.
That they belonged to my partner at the time. Like them was Michelle babies. I was like, damn. They and I didn't understand, but it was so crazy to me. And let me fuck your head up real quick. The girl that is perpetuating critical thinking, thinking outside the box, thinking for yourself, not following the bandwagon, thinking progressively, not, I hate cancel culture. I think we should cancel culture.
Oh, I
But
was gonna be
anyway,
canceled, like, last week, but I'm
Girl,
still
it
here.
pays. Cancel culture pays, girl. You better get in that cancel line. Your views gonna shoot up. You gonna be getting money, girl. They love it. Oh, canceled, bitch. Yeah, you can make it work. For holler at me if you need help spending your junk. I
Okay,
look
Imma
at
do that.
pretty
Imma
smart
do
with the
so,
algorithm
girl.
thing. Yeah. So, where was I? What was
You
I
you
talking about?
you were saying, people who have said things about you. Someone actually said that something about a $8,000 or
Oh
some
yes,
yeah,
yes,
person.
$8,000. Kids want my
Mhm.
kids.
Yeah,
Like
and your kids weren't yeah.
I don't know how other people get down, and I don't know. I know some people before I told people how old I was they thought I was much younger, So I kind of get that because I'm online acting immature and shit. But I mean, it was so much said about me. I've never told one lie to these people. My motto in life is if I gotta lie, I ain't gotta say it.
A
Like, why would
question
I
though.
volunteer a lie? I can't stand liars, cheaters, or thieves.
Right, me either. But question, because I did hear something,
Hmm.
and I'm not putting you like under the hot seat or anything like that, but I just want you to be able to address it. Somebody said,
No, go
something
ahead.
about you, what was the thing? Something with some guy like
The
I was about to
$8,000.
yeah, well, something about I was about to say espionage, but no, like
Mm,
blackmail. I
girl,
don't yeah,
you
no, but
sound
like
like the feds right now.
I know, right?
No,
No, like blackmailing.
blackmail.
Yeah, blackmailing
Oh
someone,
my God. Girl, I've been
like
accused of so much I cannot keep up myself.
well, it was like
I'm like,
outing their status unless they paid you.
oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
Okay.
about. Yeah, let me address that. I don't mind. I don't mind. I talk a lot. I don't mind talking about, if I'm comfortable in a conversation. If I don't like you, I ain't gonna talk a lot. But okay, Jaded Nerd. I think he's a dope content creator. Y'all should probably follow him. But we used to be really close. Like I had never met this man before, but I found him when he had like just 200 subscribers, and I subscribed, and I used to watch him all the time. This one I got two pages, one over 10,000, the other one hundreds of thousands. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Mhm.
And I found him because I don't watch just what other people watching. I don't follow the fray. I watch what I like, you know. And
Right,
and
right.
he was kind of nerdy, and he knew, what I'm saying, because I people might not notice, but I was kind of like a goth type, emo type gangster growing up. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I'm a little into that alternative shit. And
Right. Yeah.
so we had a lot in common, and I adored him. When I tell you I felt such a fondness to him that I've never been able to feel with anybody online. Before then, I used to say that people don't really catch feelings for people or have friends online. But I really felt a fondness to him, and I thought it was mutual. Well, it's a lot to the story, and if you ask a question, I can ask it, but I'm gonna give you the answer it. I'm gonna give you the short version. My moderators were switching out on me because two of them were arguing. I was getting rid of one of them, but I couldn't really go through it right then because I was going through the back surgery and healing, and I didn't want to be stressed out. And the person I had to get rid of was known for starting arguments online, this and that. So I knew once I got
Mhm.
rid of her, she was gonna feel outcasted. She was probably gonna come for me, and I needed my energy to be able to handle this little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
she got a lot of energy. So they left, but one of their tactics were to reach out to all the other moderators and people in the group and sort of lie on my name and tell these people that I was talking behind their back. I didn't find this out too much later. They told like people that like Jaded Nerd that I thought was close to me, that and I would never talk behind nobody back. That's not even me. I don't think I ever did that in my life. I've never said anything behind anybody's back that they either didn't already know or that I would say to their face. Like it was known how I feel. I don't keep no secrets. I'm not phony. If I don't like you, I'm not messing with you. I'm not gonna smile in your face and be behind your back talking noise. But they told everybody that I had said, I don't know what specifically they said, but they probably had something for each person to say I said something bad about them. So
Mhm.
eventually almost the entire group switched out on me, which, it's fine. Everybody got come for the queen's head. So that's always eventually gonna happen. You look at the art of war; it's one successor after another. And if the war don't get you, your right hand man will. That's a part of war.
Yeah, I
But
understand that.
I just
Mhm.
felt like, damn, on the strength of friendship, y'all couldn't wait till I finish healing from this back surgery before y'all start doing all this shit. But I'm a rider, so I'm a rider either till the wheels fall off or I just burn up and
But
evaporate.
At the same time, when your enemy is down, you're gonna kick them and re-kick them and
Not me.
relapse and
That's
relapse.
weak shit. That's bogus ass. That's some pussy ass
It
shit. Not
no,
me.
but
I don't do
it's
that.
just
I would
reality.
never kick a like if we're fighting, Allie, and you realize that you bit off a little more than you could chew and you sort of back up and cower down, I'm not gonna hit you cowering. If you fall and hit the ground, now, unless you just try to kill me and it's some real gang shit, if it's just a little girl fight or a fight over a disagreement and you fall to the ground and you cower or you having a hard time getting up, I'm gonna stop. I'm not trying
Mhm.
to kill you. I'm trying to most likely defend myself. I'm
Well,
not.
well,
I'll never kick a person down. But I know some people do that.
yeah,
I do.
some people
I know what you're
definitely
saying.
do that. Um, my
Damn, I
thing is,
got all passionate about that. I'm
I
sorry,
know,
Allie.
right?
That wasn't directed at you.
My thing,
That's
I'll
one. You know
laugh
what?
in the
One of my
corner.
moral codes.
I'll laugh in the
Mm-mm.
corner, like, see, you was messing with me. I'm not gonna like stick the dagger in too hard, but if you keep coming for me, I might just pierce it
Oh
a
my
little
god.
bit. No, I'm sorry, I'm sticking it in. It's going
Right. Right.
in. Period. Point blank. I'm just being honest with it.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I totally understand what you're saying. Someone asked about, and I actually saw because you actually sent me a video a few days ago before
Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
even scheduled. And so someone asked in the audience about a hit list.
Everybody calls that. Let me tell you why they call it the hit list. I everything is not happening to me; it's happening because of me. So it's almost my fault that they call it a hit list. But they can't think of anything more clever on their own. Not the content creators back then. So I record the video for Facebook after I get out of the psychiatric facility after my incident in 2019. I during my stay, you go to classes and stuff. You talk to psychologists, psychiatrists, all of that. You have classes with the therapist, and they asked me, what was it that I was going through? Like, what were all my stressors in life? And I started writing down, my personal stuff. And then, like, last, I was like, the people on the internet, they sort of coming for me, trying to dox me, all kind of shit. Like, it's crazy. I'm getting death threats. And that was before, because keep in mind, I haven't been exposed to the backlash behind this made up suicide hoax.
Hmm.
So before that, they was already getting in my ass since 2017 on the strength of Tasha and her winos and VS and TSCC and the people that didn't like me along the way that wanted to make money off my name because my name was pumping through the algorithm because of the Tasha K stuff.
Hmm.
So you put my name in the headline, people are going to see it because they're looking for argument between me and Tasha K. So that's how, people got wise. But I forgot where I was going with that.
Um, because okay, when you sent me the video, on the top of it, it said bullies, and then you had a list
Oh yeah,
of the
hit list,
bullies.
hit list, hit list.
But
Okay,
it
hit list.
it's called the hit list to other people.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the hit list. We'll call it the hit list. So in the class, so my doctor came in because the psychologist called a psychiatrist in too because she wanted to tell him about that because they were trying to figure out if the issues that I was having was more chemical or external because that was my
Mm,
argument. I was like, my issues with depression are external. They're not chemical. I used to get mad at her when she said I had a chemical imbalance. I'm like, okay, draw my blood and look at my chemicals then and tell me what I'm missing
wow.
because I'm telling you I'm under a lot of stress. When I'm not under stress, whatever, whatever. So we got because I didn't want to be on medication long term. But so she had me through the course of our conversation. She realized that there were some content creators that were like really going in, like creating tons of videos a week and saying the most salacious shit about me. So she had me write down all of their names. So on that list, and at the top on the list, I wrote bullies. It don't even say hit list nowhere on the paper. It says bullies at the top. And people playing dumb because they was around then. They knew who the hell was making videos about me. But when I showed the people, I was showing them what I had did during my stay. I was showing the Brain Nation. Sorry, my mouth is still, I'm healing
Oh,
from
yeah,
the
that's right. Yeah.
implant thing.
It's
Yeah.
okay, hon. Mhm.
But so it just in case people are like, why she sound like that? Because I'm snagging tooth in my canines. I don't have no teeth in my canines right now. But so they knew everybody on that list were people that were actively attacking me and had been for like a year. Like, how can people be so obsessed to attack the same girl over and over again for a year? They were relentless, nonstop.
So you're clearing this up and saying it was bullies, not
It was
not like
bullies.
some hit list that you're going to go
And
and dox people or hurt people
right.
or harm people
And
or
I've never
okay,
doxed nobody ever. And if
okay,
anybody ever tells you I did because they lied, tell them to find the video. Because
okay.
I've never done. If I had doxed somebody, there would have been so many people talking about that, trying to get the feds to come to my house. Like, girl, please. But no, I never. It doesn't say hit list. I'm not. Look, I'm from the streets. Okay, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've learned a lot of things because of it. One thing that I know, if I'm going to commit a crime, which I'm not, but if I were to commit a crime or hurt somebody or do something to somebody, the last thing I'm going to do is tell the internet with a list of names of the
Right.
people. You know how
What
easy
you're
that court
actually
case
gonna
going to
do.
be?
Right. Correct.
Right. Like, come on now, I'm Freddie daughter. Who the hell y'all think I am?
Right.
I
And
if
then
I had a hit list where I wanted to get rid of some motherfuckers, I would come online singing their praises. I'd be like, I really like her videos. Planning to slice her throat that night. Like, I'm not
uh-oh,
stupid.
uh-oh. Tell the
You
people
know,
that you don't like me. No, but
like who? Oh,
me.
oh, I just got it.
No,
Yeah.
but
I
I
hate
interrupted you.
alleys.
I know, right?
Okay. I'm
I
not gonna kill you.
interrupted you previously because you were about to get into the 8K, and then we kind of drifted a little bit into the I think it's Jaded Nerd.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay, so
okay,
Jade,
yeah,
let's finish up Jaded Nerd first. Yeah, because
yes.
I'm like talking on the tangent and all this shit
No,
because it's a lot on my mind thinking about, things we've been thinking about.
mhm.
But so Jaded Nerd ran with the fray, call itself falling out. People were saying that Jaded Nerd sent me $2,000. They said Tasha K said it. I don't know who started that rumor, but me and Jaded Nerd, we were still kind of cool at the time. I was like, why people saying that? He was like, I don't know. I ain't tell nobody that. And we was just like, it was weird. Like, that was a weird thing to say. Like, usually the best lies, they compound on some sort of truth. But this was just a complete out of the woods lie. And so we kind of ignored that. And I ain't gonna lie, I did feel kind of salty because I felt like my character is being called into question. Like, Jaden Nurse should respond to this. Like, this is the first time anybody ever talking about money with me. So
Mm.
I'm like, you need that in my heart. I'm like, you should say something. Like, I would say something, but I'm not, as your friend, I'm not even going to require you to say nothing because I want to remain authentic and I want you to. I want to see what you do. I want to see how you move. So I'm not going to force you to do anything. I'm not even going to bring it up. So I felt some type of way that he didn't immediately clear the air. He finally did, like months later in my chat, responding to somebody saying Mona never gave me $2,000. Right? I mean, I never gave
Mm.
Mona $2,000. So
Okay.
then when he finally fell out with me and we weren't fucking with, well, he wasn't fucking with me. He had joined the
Okay. I think she dropped off. She'll pop back on. I'm not gonna drop the link at this time because we have some other, questions to discuss prior. And afterwards, if she's ready to take questions, then she is more than
sorry about
capable
that.
of taking those. Yeah, no problem. No
That
problem.
whenever I get a call, it knocks me off, and one of my the same content creator needs apparently something's going on, but it's not in the beef sector. Um, but so Jaded Nerd, I had text Jaded Nerd when he switched out with me and was kind of, people would say, and you gave Mona $2,000. He wouldn't deny it. He would let that bullshit just hang up in the air. So I texted him. And I'm like, I can't believe you letting these people lie on me, and you're basically affirming the lie by saying nothing. I was like, if you don't want to be fucked up with me no more for whatever reason, that's fine. And I sort of went out on him. I'm like, went off on him. I'm like, you playing a dirty game, and if I wanted to play it with you, it's so much I could say about you. And during the time, and I was like, first, and I was pretty much like, first of all, let's begin with the fact that I was sending you money to help you get your medications. Like, he got really sick and he
And
didn't
we
have
don't
the
want to
money.
disclose
No,
anything.
I'm not gonna. No, I'm not
Okay,
gonna
good.
disclose anything.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
he got very sick and needed help getting his medications. I went
Okay.
to Matt. I had a few dollars. I got a few dollars from Matt. Sent it to him for him to, that. And I've helped him many times,
Hmm.
many times. And for him to allow a lie saying that he gave me money that I'm refusing to pay him back, when actually it was the other way around, that shit pissed me off. But I didn't say it to the public. I said it to
Mm.
him, and I didn't threaten to out him. I didn't even imply that I was going to out him. And the thing is, I felt like the information that he gave the public was because he wanted to use that to get attention on that topic, because there was a guy called something King of Reeds, and he
Oh,
had,
yeah, yeah.
remember him? Remember when he
Yes.
shared, let me fuck your head up. Remember
Yeah.
when he shared the same topic
Right.
about
Yes.
himself?
I remember that. Yeah.
Me and Jaded Nerd, and you'll find it's like not long after that. Me
Mhm.
and Jaded Nerd having a conversation. He was like, "Dang, I should do that. I should, speak freely about that." And I'm like, "You sure?" I said, "Once you say it, you can't take it back." You know what I'm saying? Like that's that.
Mhm.
And so, and he was saying, well, look at his views going up. He gonna get the sympathetic, crew, like those people that also share that same experience. And I was like, I don't think you should do it, man. I don't think you should do it. So that conversation happened. He didn't do it, right? He
Mhm.
didn't do it because I'm like, you want to do it for the wrong reasons, and it's early in your career. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna sort of be put in a category, and everybody just gonna look at you through that guise of you might be gone soon, and you have so much talent to give. It'll stop endorsements, all of that. It'll stop sponsors if it's long term, because again, you're known for that, and people are ignorant. You know, it
Mhm.
hurts and helps. But so he didn't. And then when I typed in the letter, I didn't make fun of him for his experience. I didn't threaten to tell anyone. I told him that I supported him through that experience. And this is how you turn on me with a
Mhm.
plan of dirt. Now, what he did, and he even put this is how dumb people are. It's not even him that pissed me off the most or confused me the most. It was the people. They actually read the text message, and nowhere in the text message did I blackmail, did I say you better do XYZ. It was simply, you could tell a girl saying, I stood by your side, XYZ. How dare you get out there and lie on me and satirize my name? Like, how dare you?
Did you ever expose anything that was personal to him publicly?
No, never.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, correct me. I don't remember ever. This man went through homelessness. I never said nothing, and I didn't have much at the time, and I helped him. Somebody else was helping me, and I was helping him with the help I was getting. That's
Okay.
how messed up that was. And I guess people can say, "Oh, it's the internet. They don't think you should have no feelings." Somebody even told me earlier, you shouldn't try to convince people of your truth after somebody says, because somebody recently put out a video about my situation, and
Mhm.
people were telling me that I shouldn't put out the video that exonerates me from that situation. Like I shouldn't defend myself. But of course I should. So I'm a rebel. Of course I'm gonna step to you. It ain't gotta be on the internet. And it wasn't on the internet. He put it on the internet. Why? Because he wanted a way to be able to share his experience and let people know, because he wanted them clicks and views. He didn't want to have no heart to heart felt moment with you about his experience. He want them clicks and views and cash apps. And that's what he got.
Was
And
it
I hope it
ever
was worth it.
an email between you and him? Because I'm not familiar with this whole situation.
Hmm.
All I know is I'm reading the chat, as much as I can read, and then I heard a different video.
Right. We never
W
emailed before in our life. They might be talking about, they might be talking about a text message or a Facebook Messenger.
Well, I'm saying about you said, like, there was an email, but I'm
Oh,
wondering
did I
if
say
there
email? I
was
meant text message.
okay,
I text him.
was there anything personal that you said, like, for example, "I will do this if this doesn't happen,"
Nope.
and this isn't in the chat, this isn't in the chat, this
Right.
is just me asking
Nope.
you this.
Never. Nope.
Okay, and you okay, okay, alright.
Anybody can find you. It's probably cached on Lipstick Alley. I never said that. I never said that in that note. None of that. I said I helped you, and this is how you stabbed me in the back. I
Hmm.
never shared your secrets. I never told anybody. I've known the stuff. I never told anybody. And you could use a lie against me. And we saw how people were capitalizing off of switching out on other people. And we always say, boy, we glad we real. We not like them. We family. Psych.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. So you cleared that up and and defended yourself against that. What happened next as far as Mona Simone via social media, on YouTube?
There
You
was
know,
eight
yeah.
thousand dollars with Matt.
Uh-huh. Like what happened next?
That was really crazy because he was at Matt. I don't think he had been diagnosed, but I think he has Asperger's like me. I just think it's a little bit higher because you can tell, like, if we understand each other a little bit too much on a logical tip, I know you're not neurotypical, and you can tell from the way that he behaves that his brain is clicking in a different way. And I thought he was super duper dope.
Mhm.
We shared things about the a curiosity about the universe and just cosmic stuff and quantum theory and stuff like that. And we used to
Mhm.
talk all the time. We were friends before the whole blowing up thing on YouTube. We were already friends on Facebook. And 2 years, over 2 years before I even got snatched over and drug over here to YouTube, we were friends. And during that time, when I was going through that hard, it was like right before in 2017. During that time before I got drug over to YouTube to make videos, he helped me out several times during that year. And the total of the money that he sent, the total now, he didn't give me this all at once, was somewhere around $8,000. That's his estimate. I didn't actually add it up. He did. So I'm like, I'll take your word for it because I thought it was way more than that. I can tell you that when he gave me the money, I was
Mhm.
so grateful. Now, I done helped everybody all my life. Ain't nobody ever gave me shit. Not
Mhm.
even a sympathetic shoulder. So to me, I'm thinking this is my good karma finally coming back. Someone is helping me. I didn't know where he got the money from. I didn't ask. I didn't even ask him for the money. He would say, go check your PayPal. He knew I was going through something. He would send it to me without even asking. I literally, I now don't believe in nothing. I'm a heathen. I'm not religious. But
Mhm.
Matt was an angel. And I was so grateful to have this brother in my life because he's black, by the way. But
Mhm.
he just really light skinned. I don't know if you saw him,
No.
but I was so grateful to have this brother in my life. And all of that happened. He helped me out. Then we moved on from that, and they reached out to him. He wasn't participating as a moderator. Matt gets overwhelmed very easily, so he had taken breaks from time to time once we came over to YouTube because he wasn't used to all that.
Mhm.
We was doing Facebook. So, but he wanted to be involved and help. So I was like, you could be a moderator, and I'll help you start to create content because I pushed him to his content because I'm like, you're so smart and you can edit too. So, so he was on a break. And when my moderators were falling out, they reached out to him. And I don't know what they told him, but they convinced him that I wasn't a friend. And
Mm.
so he came out, they were telling him, "Oh, Mona used you for that money." Like when I guess they asked him questions about what did you do for Mona? Did you ever do anything for Mona? And I guess he told them. And so they convinced him that, and I know that they convinced him because he did a live where he said they were saying, yeah, Mona was scamming you. And after a while, yeah, I was like, yes, she scammed me, but I don't know how you scam somebody when you don't even ask for it. Like, I know I'm the villain of this sector. One woman should not have all this power. Like, y'all really saying I got ESP on a bitch. Like, I can tap into your brain and your mind and make you do what the fuck I want you to do.
So
They
why
was telling people don't look into my eyes.
Oh dear. So
Literally.
why do you think that you're like this villain?
I think it's the mystique. It ain't. There are a lot of girls like me, but a lot of girls like me usually don't do this. Like want to be out in the forefront and this and that. And a lot of girls that are like me, they eventually pick a side. The hood girl that got educated, so she's somewhat intellectual. I can certainly code switch and blend in if I wanted to, but I don't code switch nowhere. I live in the suburbs. I can forget all about the hood. Seldom do we come back. That question everybody asks, why niggas leave the hood and they don't come back? I know why now. I know
Mhm.
why now. Cause I would always come back. I always did, even in real life. Like I used to have this program that I created myself, that I funded myself with my money from my 9 to 5 while I was applying for grants. And I used to help men that were getting out of prison buy clothes from Walmart and button downs for an interview. I used to help them type their resume, and I used to practice interviews with them, and I didn't get paid a dime, not in cash.
Mhm.
I did it. So I've always been a type to give, to help other people, this and that. But anyway, they convinced Matt that it was untoward, and they convinced him to go on a live, and I could tell he was so uncomfortable and out of his element, but he done told him he gonna tell everybody it, so he's sitting up there like he gotta say it, you know. And so he said it, and I confronted him on Seven Stars Live. I'm like, Matt, tell me the time I ever asked for a dime. I was like, I never asked you for anything. You would just send it to me.
And what did he say when
He
you
he said, "You're right. You may have never asked, but I felt like that's what you wanted." What, nigga?
hmm.
I was confused
So
because
do
we
you
didn't.
feel he was like manipulated into feeling that you
You know what?
manipulated him? You know, like
I I used to think at first I felt real bad for Matt because I know Matt it gets overwhelmed easily, and he's not a fool by a long shot. At least the Matt that I always talk to. That's what I had to remember. Even though Matt was shy when it came to the public and exposing himself to the public, when me and him used to talk on the phone, it wasn't all that. It wasn't like no weakness, coy or nothing like that. So I don't know if that was a persona or what. Because when he talked to me like he was a regular nigga, a smart one, but a regular
mhm,
one.
mhm,
And so, but when I saw the videos and all that, and then they told me that he had got the money from his parents passing away. See, I didn't know that. I knew his parents passed away, but Matt had a great ass 6 figure paying job. So I didn't
mhm,
think, and it wasn't $8,000 at one time. It was like maybe 300 here, 200 here, something like that.
mhm.
So I'm thinking, I ain't even thinking where he got the money from. I don't care. I'm from the hood. At the end of the day, I need help. If you're gonna help me, thank you very much.
Now
I will
tell
pay
me
it forward.
this. Tell me this though, because sometimes this happens, where a person will tell you, yeah, they won't necessarily outright ask you, like,
Mhm.
yeah, I need some money, but they will kind of tell you their struggles.
Right. That's what I would call dry begging. And no, that didn't happen. Like, if you
Okay.
know me personally, I'm so fucking prideful. I could get evicted, be sleeping out of my goddamn car, eating ramen noodles and tuna in a can, and you can call me. I'll be like, Allie, I'm good.
Hmm.
Like, I don't ask. And the most, like, Matt, when we talked on the phone, I'm getting excited. When we talked on the phone, Matt did most of the talking because he had a real estate thing going on because he was investing in property and one of his tenants were giving him a hard time. I used to have a real estate license in Florida some years back. So I was advising him on that. I was helping him with the start, the bit. Like, Matt occupied a lot of my time. Like, I was his
Mm,
life coach, and I never was because I don't life coach friends, not contractually.
right.
But 250 an hour is what I charge. And that's
Mhm.
why I told Matt, I said, if you want to add up the time that you took from me versus your $8,000, you're in a deficit, my brother. You owe me. Because that man called me all the time. But you know what happens when somebody is helping you out? I felt obligated. Like, I felt like it'll be wrong of me to send him the voicemail when that man helping me out like that. So I
Mm,
allowed him to take advantage of that. Just like now, you know how they call us or social media influencers?
mhm.
We're
Right.
not that. Well, I am, but most people are not. It's like the power pyramid is upside down, and it's the chat who is influencing the
Oh, yeah.
creative. They send us money. They want to change our ideas. People get afraid that people are going to stop sending them money or stop being in their chat because it works on the rewards zone in our brain. So when they give us money, it makes us feel good. We don't want them to take that away. Whether they send you know how you get in with a content creator. It ain't
Mhm.
even got to be a lot of money. Listen, Mona gonna put you up on game. Let me get some tea.
You
Y'all
know,
probably already
there's a
know.
lot of people up in here, so without
That's okay. I like to say my shit out in the open so everybody knows, so you know how not to get scammed too.
all right, all
This is
right.
this is what some of the content. This is what some of the viewers do. I've never done it, but I've had it done to me. It's
Mhm.
similar to love bombing, but what they do, they'll start coming in your live once they determine you the next target. They'll start coming in your live, and they'll send you the same amount each time you go live. Now it could be $10 each time you go live, or it could be $50 each time you go live, or it could be 20, or it could be 5. Now, one, your brain is taking note of that. So now you're remembering their name. Two, every time they send it to you, that's igniting the rewards pleasure zone in your brain. So you liking it. You don't want it to go away. Three, because they send them the same amount, it's causing you to add it up, going upward, and you're recognizing that the value that they donate to you is increasing, and you begin to feel obligated to this person. You begin to look at this person like they're sending me their hard-earned money. They really support me. Who else would do this? And a lot of us, because we'll get an email or something. That's probably the mailman. We'll get an email or something from them, or a DM or something from them eventually, however people contact us. And we're going to be all open ears. Once they sent that like 5 or 6 times, we're primed. We're prepped. We ready to go. Now they can talk to us. They're gonna tell us a little sad story. So we're gonna have empathy for them. But make no mistake, they're the ones in power. Like between the sadist and the masochist is the one in power. They got full control over you and you don't even know it. You think you the content creator. You the one they looking up to. No. So then they're gonna tell you this sad story. They're gonna get you linked in, and pretty soon they're gonna be able to pick which content creators they don't like. You know what, Mona? That's so and so. You should say something to them because this and that. And depend on how weak minded you are, because Mona Simone is not. That's why she lost a lot of friends. Because I'll tell a bitch quick, that ain't my business. That's not my fight either.
Mhm.
But some people won't. Some people will do it. I know content creators that I knew that they was gonna switch out on me or say something about me once I started seeing certain people go in their chat. Cause I know them people dropping $5 or $10. I'm like, yep, they finna get them. I've literally sat here and watched it. So I don't even think
Yeah.
they can call us social media influencers no more. I just say I'm a creative.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I can understand it, and I see where you're going with it because, in the beginning, it kinda, turns into almost hypnosis, and then, seriously, when you're seeing the same number all the time, you're seeing the
right?
same person
No, you're
all the
absolutely right.
time, but then, when and that's when you have to draw a boundary. See, I'm the type of person, I'm very private. I don't talk to people outside of, this YouTube. You have to catch me on the panel. Maybe you can catch me on IG, but we're not going to share any personal information. I don't want to know anything personal about anyone unless it's already been said and you want to expound and we're having, like, for example, an interview, right? Or a
Hmm.
conversation. Um and I keep my boundaries very high up because I know how people can be. And also I know how I was. Some people called me, like, what, payola or whatever. Oh, you pay this person. They don't even know how
Mm,
much I paid a person. They
right.
don't even know if I paid a person. And
Girl, you
and that
wanna know a
was
secret? They thought my suit, they got so jealous of my motherfucking Cash App. To date, I probably never received more than like, I don't know, maybe $800 on Cash App, if that, from YouTube subscribers. But they were so jealous of me.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of things that go into it.
Mhm.
Like, for example, like what I was saying is, they used to target me and say, "Oh, I'm paying this person, I'm paying that person," when I wasn't even paying anyone at the time. And when I was, it was really donating to, like, the channel, donating to the cause, donating to the culture of what they were doing. But when I felt that nothing was being added on to it, like no mic, same thing that's been going on since the first time they arrived on YouTube. It's just like, well, what am I donating to? Or I see my donations being given out to other content creators. I'm like, I can cash app them directly. I don't need you, I don't, need you to be the middleman, for it. It's to help you build your platform. And it's not to be your friend because I don't even like friends outside of YouTube. I mean, I'm just being
Uh-huh.
honest. It
Yeah,
may,
no, no, you
sound
can't.
cruel,
We're not.
but
Nobody here is real friends.
I
If
don't,
if you,
I just
some
don't.
people have established a real friendship, but most of these people are not friends.
Right,
They're
correct.
absolutely not. Friends wouldn't
Yeah.
do this to each other.
Well, the thing is, like, I mean, you have to have someone outside. Like, I have my own obligations within, like life and home, I can't be somebody's friend that I found on YouTube. I'm sorry. I could be like, your ally, like
Mm-hmm.
people who come through, like allies and everything like that. I could be
Yeah.
your ally, but
Yeah, we
I
really
can't.
use that term too loosely.
Right, I can't be your friend because that would take a lot of emotional, I guess, support that I am not willing to
To do.
participate in, because I have to offer that to my family, you
Well, you would
know?
be wise not to,
Yeah.
because most of the time when people are befriending you, it's because you know the saying, "A friend in need is a friend indeed," and
Mhm.
most of the time they are befriending you because they want something from you, whether it's cloud or networking potential. Is that's usually what it is. But and I'm not even saying that to hate on them because that's the name of the game. That's what you're supposed to do, network and build, but
Right.
somewhere along the lines we start acting like people buddy buddy, and like I said in 2019, quit letting flaw bitches claim you. Cause I
Yeah,
let all these bitches claim me. You know what happened when you appear to be friends online? People think they know you very well. So if they switch out on you and they come start telling people stuff and say Mona told me this and Mona told me that, they're gonna believe that person because they think that you actually did. But see, Freddie daughter ain't never been stupid. So I don't sit around on the phone with people that I've met online and have not known for very well. Like some of these people I knew for 2 and 3 months. I don't sit around and tell them my business. I don't tell them any business that I wouldn't tell the public or I haven't told the public.
right.
Not that
Right.
there's anything to hide, but why would I?
Right. And
You
and when
know?
we were even gearing up for, you to come through and have the conversation with me, because I've been really excited for it, because we have a similar background as far as, academia,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't speak anything about personal like things. We were talking about, okay, can't wait for you to come through. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't anything outside of the ordinary that we are not able to share with the audience, period, point blank.
I'm gonna answer the question for the audience real quick. They say, "Aren't isn't Dory your friend?" Dory's not a YouTube friend. Now I met Dory last summer on YouTube, but the relationship that I have with Dory is off of YouTube. I'm talking about you. We're talking about YouTube relationships. That's a
Mhm.
personal relationship. That's in our personal lives.
And I mean, I don't want to like even really talk about her unless she's here to participate in the discussion. But I mean, that's probably for a different time, I guess, in our conversation. So please don't be distracted. But
In other
but
words, stay out the comments.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be distracted because then we're gonna go all over the place because I kind of want to just kind of go in chronological a little bit. I know we veered off a little bit from the 8,000 and then like boom, boom, boom,
Mhm.
but like I want to kind of stay a little bit on topic. With the whole like okay, so we kind of gotten over the jaded nerd.
Mhm.
You've explained yourself in that, unless there's anything else you need to
Nah,
explain
that's pretty
here.
much it. He just twisted my words, but the sad part is that he showed the text message and I didn't say anything like that. And I didn't see anybody in the comment that said, "Wait a minute, she didn't say she was going to do that. This is not a blackmail." But, that happened and he got his clicks and views out of it. So, that's how he chose to play his game. I can't judge how he plays his game.
Okay, got you. And then, so after that happened, like, what happened? And I told you, I don't wanna talk
Mhm.
about something you're not comfortable talking about.
Yeah, yeah, got it, got it, got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool. Um in 2019 I was in a very dark space, like
Mhm.
very dark. Like some of these people that come at me to attack me because they don't know the situation and what really happened, I wish I can pull them into that space with me so they can see what I was going through and how I was torturing myself mentally, you know and and out of that, or before that, I had all these people turn on me, and we're gonna brush over it because we've been talking about it like crazy. But after that happened, I mean, before that happened, I had all these people turn on me. They were talking about me, yeah, 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 yeah. I was like,
Mhm.
YouTube's number one hated person. And after that, I went through 2 years of intensive psychotherapy. I even went on medication, and I'm not really one for pharmaceuticals. Like, I'm a herbal chick, and I don't
Mhm.
even like taking psychiatric medicine. Now, I do believe that if you need it, you should take it.
Right.
But like I said, I believe that mine wasn't environmental as it was. And but I did feel like I needed it to help me at the time because the suicidal ideations were so strong, you
Right.
know?
To
So
regulate, like, the neurotransmitters, et
right,
cetera, and the hormonal, yeah,
right.
balance and everything, yeah. Sometimes you actually do need that,
Mm-hmm,
you do, to balance it out. And when it's, external, then you can taper yourself off,
mm-hmm,
and then maybe, be more aligned within
right.
yourself, because within, our conversations, I want us to be able to give, like, a little bit of, our,
Education.
psychological, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, background and
Yeah, that's cool.
everything so that people can understand. Because I don't want things to, like, go over their heads and be like, okay, what in the world are they
Mm-hmm.
talking about? Or it to be like we are giving anyone in the audience any type of advice. We just want
Yeah,
to
definitely not. I'm not.
educational
My
purposes.
psychology studies were academic based, so I'm
Yes.
not a counselor or a therapist. I majored in psychology with an emphasis on a human sexuality and sexual orientation, not
Okay.
clinical therapy, not none of that. Like, I had to take stats 3 times because it's a research degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Got you.
So
Excellent. Yep. Mm.
after that, I went through therapy and everything, and it was a lot. Like, these last 2 years, they were times hard, times beautiful, times ugly, and but I'm grateful that I took that time because I like who I am today. You know what I'm saying?
Can I pause for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Pause for just one moment. It's not saying over your head in a derogatory way, because we have many people in the audience, and I'm not, like, trying to say, I'm dumbing down anyone at all, but some people do not understand or know about the, like, external side, or the the environmental side, or like the clinical side, where it's really dealing with the hormones and neural
Mm-hmm.
pathways in your, in your brain. I mean, that's like a deeper discussion. But like, I like to talk in layman's terms. It's not to
Mm-hmm.
say that anyone is, like, stupid. So please don't, like, chalk that up to say that. I just want to let people know, so everybody is on the same accord. Like, I know a lot of people actually know way more than I do about this, but it's not even trying to, like, insult anybody. So please don't, if you're insulted by anything that I say, then this probably isn't the channel for you, because it's not even meant in that way. This channel is to educate, and by through Mona even sharing just, her voice, it's really educating people about the cycle of which she has been through. So I just want to just make that clear. All right. Continue. I'm sorry, Mona. I just had to
Yeah, no,
clear that
no.
up.
Yeah, so I did the whole bit, did the medication, and not only that, while I'm simultaneously while I'm going through psychotherapy, I'm also honing in on my spirituality, really getting in touch with self, solidifying and doubling down on some of my beliefs, and the way that I want to carry myself in this life. And I like who I am today. A lot of people, they misunderstand me today, but they misunderstood me then, and they're always going to misunderstand me. That don't really bother me. The only thing that I find offensive is when people pretend to know a person or pretend to tell you about yourself. And that's what I seem to get a lot lately. Like, people coming at me like they actually know me because someone on the internet who also has never met me has told them something about me. And I ain't
Okay.
even make that many videos. For talking about me, for people to be able to fully understand me, it's all based on what they've been told by someone else. And I'm, like I was saying earlier, I'm the girl that's here to perpetuate critical thinking, and they're coming at me with everything but critical thinking. They
Mhm.
seeing evidence and dismissing it. Like, psh, fake news. Like, it's crazy, these people. You
Right.
know.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of people get that. Whether you're a content creator or even a subscriber that has an opinion, we're going to get other like subscribers or even content creators that are going to say, "No, you're wrong." But the one key thing is you don't know what my intent is, number 1, and you don't
Hmm.
know what is going on in my head. You
Right.
have to understand my intent behind something. And also, you don't know if, like, for example, if I'm going through something psychological, because a lot of people you can't see like the psychology of the brain. You can just see the like
Hmm.
able-bodied person walking, and then all of
Hmm.
a sudden when you see them lash out, then you see maybe a psychosis of
Yeah.
some sort, so you can't just like think that you can pinpoint that a person's like, "Ooh, I know how you roll. I know what you do. I know all about you," because actually you don't. And that's why I like people to come on and discuss and have the conversation and give light, to this is actually who I am and this is what I was thinking at that time. Because sometimes, I may be thinking something like last week that I might not be thinking today. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're all at our own nature to be able to change our minds or to have a differing opinion. And a lot of women know sometimes it can be just like, hormonal, not mentally hormonal, like, in the brain, but just
Right.
hormonal, where you decide like, okay, I'm less emotional. I can look at this in a more logical or rational way, period,
Hmm.
point blank. So, I mean, let's just be a little bit open-minded here. Um,
Wrong crowd.
no, no, I'm not saying but you know what I'm saying. Like, I think,
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, yeah, let's think outside the box. Let's not just
at
believe
least
people
for
because they
today.
say it when
You
you
can
when you
change your
don't
mind
know
tomorrow.
when you don't know their motives or why they said it, what was going on behind the scenes. Like there's so many variables that go into a person. And remember, we
Exactly.
only see each other through our own bias and our own frame of mind. Like we have no idea what prompted a person to do a thing, if they actually did a thing, why this person is lying. And social media even separates us further from that because in real life we're closer to people. But on the
Right.
internet, we can't even feel your energy. Some of us are
Exactly.
sensitive still, but you know that feeling when you get when you're in front of a person and you know they finna
Exactly.
try something or this and that. Like we can't even feel like I could be smiling and tears could be running down my face and you'd never know it.
Exactly, and thank you for saying that because I always say, I can't exchange like, product really exchange, like if it's for a product that's meaningful to me or if it's gonna touch me in, some spiritual way. If I can't see your eyes in real time and see you like right in my face, I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's something about the eyes, and everybody knows I have big old eyes. I have big eyes. But if I can't see your eyes, if I can't see your expression, if I can't read your body language, if I cannot read you like that, and then maybe ask you some questions, then it's a product that I don't want.
Uh-huh. Hold on.
Hmm. And I even do that like with online purchases as well. You know. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about, bed sheets and curtains and, things around the house and stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, spiritual connected things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not going for it. I can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. But I may entertain it. It'll be fun, I guess, um, but you can continue.
Okay, so so we talked about I was talking about what I had been through and
Yes,
liking the person I am.
correct.
So I said that to say because I'm gonna double back. You saw how I kind of did a DOA. But I'm a double back, no pun intended. All first of all of my analogies, somebody
Mhm.
usually dies in them. I have a dark wit and a morbid sense of humor, and I be trying to cut back when I be public in front of people that don't really know me like that, because sometimes people take it the wrong way, and people be like, "You ain't depressed because you make jokes about death all the time," never thinking that that's probably how I cope. But anyway,
Mhm.
um, so the person I am today it's not the person that I was when I was going through the struggle and I was sad and I'm like, woe is me. Why is everybody picking on me? Why are these people lying about what's good to you people? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? I was good to you people. I was helping motherfuckers. But I'm gonna tell you, like, I was the wrong bitch because I've changed so much. Like, I used to be so helpful, so willing to help. You ain't gotta pay me. I'll help you for free. Like, I used to be that girl anybody can come to. I'll help you with your Even Teresa used to call me for help, and she knows it. Like, I was helping people out. God damn it, I ain't never stabbed nobody in the back, talked behind their back, but they kept doing this shit to me left and right. But I'm not that girl that was hurt and broken and stressed out in 2018 and 2019, that was sad, that was on the verge. One might even say fragile. I'll even give you that. I'm not that girl no more. So when people talk about stuff back then or this and that, and you shouldn't address this or you shouldn't talk about this, or they're telling me about me, bitch, you faked your death. It was a hoax, bitch. Fuck you. I don't care about shit back then. And if you feel that strongly about some shit, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 3 years ago, through 3 years ago, I don't see any reason why you and I shouldn't be able to have a face to face conversation. Because what I refuse to do is go back and forth with someone online that has a logo. I'm not arguing with no logos. We're not doing that. You too scared to show yourself. I'm not going back and forth with you. For what? And on top of that, the girl that cared before the attempt is dead. This girl don't give a fuck. So when I hear that, I don't really care. But what happened was, is that, and also I want to touch on too, when I tell you this about, you were talking about the cyberbullying, basically, people just talking crap about you online, and everybody goes through that. I'm gonna
Mhm.
tell you some stuff that everybody don't go through when you hear
Okay.
what happened to me.
Okay.
So I, in the month of March, I tried to kill myself 4 times. Couldn't die worth of shit. I kept failing, right? I kept getting it off that I had the right amount, and I'm a brainiac, so my ass is trying to be exact and perfect even in my demise. But anyway, the closest I came was March 31st, which led over into April 1st. And people are saying it was the April Fool's joke, but it didn't happen on April 1st. It actually happened on March 31st. And I'll tell you what happened that day.
Mhm.
I remember Nipsey Hussle died. I always loved Nipsey Hussle. My son was actually living in California at the time and working with some people that was surrounded in that group. And I mentioned that, everybody was like, "I see lying. She just want to all this crazy shit." Like, how do you know? To say it with such conviction and fervor. So anyway, um, I was sad about that. And I won't lie, at the time I felt slightly envious. Like, if I could have traded places with him in that moment, I would have gladly, because I was tired. I had just had back surgery because I had it April 19th. For the surgery that I had, it takes about 5 to 6 months to recover from. And
Wow.
I was in so much pain. I didn't take the narcotics. I'm like, I got pot at home because I have a
Mhm.
medicinal marijuana card. If you listen to me, if you hear my voice anywhere out there on the internet, take the pills. Take them. I was in so much pain, but I'm smoking and I'm tired all the time because marijuana makes me sleepy, and I'm still waking up in pain. And I'm scared that the pain is going to cause me not to heal well. Can't get my chakras aligned. I can't meditate. I can't focus. I felt so out of whack. And so I felt a lot of that this day. Then later on that evening, I was going through an active hate campaign. Everybody was going live with my name in the title, talk about me. It was Tracy, who was supposed to be my friend at the time, and Phi Babe, the other one, that was also doing a live talking about me. And they chat rooms was, doing what chat rooms do. And at the time, Phi Babe was doing call-ins. This was before StreamYard. And it was talking all this crap about me. And of course, I'm miserable. I'm angry. I want to yell and scream and tell my side. I don't want people to sit up here and lie on me. You know what I'm saying? So I call in. She don't even want to pick up the phone. Like, she's not picking up the phone. She's leaving me on the phone. I'm angry. I'm like livid. I go over to Tracy's page. Tracy do like this mock interview thing with me, and her chat is being so disrespectful. This is before the attempted unborning of myself, because they picking on me for every other thing, for having a temporary disability, to all sorts of shit. I'm polyamorous and pansexual, and calling me a hoe. Said I had my wife at the time on Backpage, like all this shit. Like it's crazy, and it's even though now they could probably be doing all that shit, and I probably wouldn't even blink an eye. I probably get offline and go watch a documentary or something. But back then, I remember sick in the head, sickness in, sickness out. I was glued to it. I was glued to it. I could not. It was like anxiety if I couldn't get my point across.
Mm.
Tracy let me on her platform because we was friends at the time, and we talked about it, and she was like, "Oh, telling the chat, don't give her a chance, you guys, because she's my friend, right?" Um, and they didn't, of course. Like people were just coming for me, and then when I got off with Tracy, I was just feeling overwhelmed from that. And then I got checked my voicemail, got the bad news that my short-term disability had been denied again. So that means I won't be getting paid, won't be getting any money, will not have any insurance company. I still got to try and make a way out of no way and pay for these doctor bills because I can't feel my leg. And if I don't get my leg fixed, then I can't go back to work. What the fuck I'm gonna do without a job?
Mhm.
And even if I had to apply for Social Security, that could take years. And I'm young. Like I am young, staring at four walls. Like went from a socialite to a nothing, to sitting in. And I'm not that. I'm very antisocial. But when I need to handle my business for the bag, I went from an active lifestyle at events, parties, this and that, hostings, to can't even leave the house because then I'm embarrassed because I walk with a limp now, with a 70-year-old lady limp that had hip surgery. That's how I'm walking.
Currently or at that
No, no,
time?
back then, girl, I'm straight
Okay.
now. I
Okay.
I got fined during quarantine. I know some people put on a few pounds. I feel sorry for you. No, I spent that time getting fined. It was good for my mentals though.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be coming up soon, so I ain't saying I'm like my body like super built up, and everything. I'm just saying, a girl kept it youthful. So so I'm going through all that night, and I walk in the bathroom, and I see the bottle, and I just grab them and take them. I'm like, fuck this shit. Fuck it. All of it. I don't care. I had a $500,000 life insurance policy, and depression has a way of talking to you and convincing you that you're not needed. That the family be because people I hear people say, but you got kids. Don't you love your kids? Of course I love my kids. But depression will convince you that your kids will be better off without you, in fact. That nobody really cares about you. And that you're a burden on everybody. That's what depression will do to you. So at the time, I'm thinking I'm a burden on everybody anyway. I'm always needing help with my medical bills. I'm young. I don't know if I'm be able to get back to work. My friend done went on the internet and tried to put a GoFundMe since so many people claim to love me to see if people can help me get this little $1,200 power chair. I told her not to because I had a feeling it would go left. But she was one of my closest friends. She was like, I'm going to do it anyway. They say they love you, then they'll help. You should stop trying to be the strong friend all the time. Let people help you. What happened? I got picked on, dogged out some more. They start bringing up power. Like you'll hear people still to this day bring up the fact that I need a power chair and call it a wheelchair.
But if you know that that is not your situation now,
Oh
then
no, it
that
doesn't bother me now. We're
okay,
talking
good,
about
good.
then.
Okay,
Then it
gotcha.
was
Okay.
very aggravating. So that night I take the medicine. At some point, my partner realized that I'm not acting right and I'm acting real sluggish, and I don't do drugs, so that's out of the ordinary for me to be acting all woo woo. She takes me to the hospital. Um, During that hospital stay, my heart rate dropped a couple of times. I have a DNR on file. I don't want to be
Mhm.
resuscitated into a vegetable. And
Mhm.
she was told that my heart stopped. Now, us knowing that we had DNRs on file, she took that as she gone. Your heart stopped. You're not here no more, right?
Okay.
So, and I don't want to get all into detail and stuff, but basically, she went out and she was feeling overwhelmed. So she turned to her private Facebook page that she only has about 200, less than 300 followers on it, and they're all family or friends that she went to high school with. She knows everybody on her Facebook page. She is not a content creator, ain't never been. She don't be doing pranks with me in my videos and nothing like that. She was always in the background. She was never in the forefront. Never invited nobody to come follow her. None of that. But some little nosy motherfucker from YouTube saw her put up a post to the family and told the family, I'll be calling y'all, give me a minute. Because I think she had called a couple of people. Then people started calling her, family get to talking, girl, you heard about Mona? Girl, you better go see about Mona. Da-da-da.
Mhm,
So people start calling her. Because we in Atlanta and we've been here for like 17 years, but we're from Tampa, Florida. Both of us are.
mhm.
So whatever that happened, and then people on the internet started saying it was a hoax, and it was a hoax because it is. But Ali, you're a smart girl, right? And I've been asking a lot of people this, and I ain't never been able to get an answer. I guess it's sort of like that Matt Malum $8,000 thing, and I really want the chat to hear me on this one because I would love an answer.
Okay.
How do I create a hoax that I never told anybody about? I didn't drop any hints. I didn't come to you I didn't come to YouTube in a hospital bed saying, "Hey y'all, I tried to, da da da." I didn't have no post up. My wife had a post to our family, grandmothers, aunties, children, little cousins, third cousins, people we went to school with, people on the job is on her page. You think she really went Michelle, who is not, she's not a prankster. She's not a fun, she's a very serious person, a little too serious. I used to be like, loosen up. You think she was playing a prank on her 80-year-old grandmother? And me and Michelle have been together since our 20s, so our families treated us almost like we was families to everybody, you know?
I think what stuck out to me when I was hearing, because I don't know the whole thing. I do have the video that you gave me, but then I heard something someone else said where prior to this that you shared, you know, information with Tracy, and I'm only saying Tracy because she's in the chat, and she can speak for herself.
Right. No,
That
the phone conversation. Most lies are believable when they expound on the truth. And I remember when the phone call was brought up, and there was this girl named Rainy Putz that she'd be like around at everybody chat. I don't think she takes sides with nobody. She just liked to watch the mess. And somebody sent me a screenshot where they was talking about the recording, and she was like, "So what? Mona talks about death all the time. Like that's literally my jokes. Like every analogy. Like it don't matter if that would have been a call with Tracy. It could have been a week before. I probably would have been talking about death or something. And it gets even more when I get really, really depressed. See, Tracy didn't understand that because she wasn't a real friend and she wasn't really invested in me. She didn't really care about what was going on with me. She didn't really care about to see where I was really struggling. Tracy called me and she was like, "Girl, April Fool's coming up. What you want to do?" I said, Tracy, and this is important. I don't celebrate April Fools. I'm a heathen. I haven't celebrated April Fools, Valentine's. I don't even celebrate my birthday. Don't celebrate Christmas, and ain't did that shit for well over a decade. I'm not a Christian, and I don't celebrate a lot of that shit. And I told her this, and she already knew, so I was a bit irritated. And I was like, Teresa, I don't celebrate holidays. I'm a heathen. She goes, "Well, we gotta do something. It's April 1st. It's April 1st." I said, "Well, why don't I just kill myself?" And I said that out of irritation. And this girl, no lie, I cannot make this up, starts laughing. And she's like, "Oh no, you can't do that. No." "What are we really gonna do?" I said, "Okay, well then why don't I kill myself for real?" "No, Mona, we gonna figure something out because this what I did, and I did this 1 year and that didn't work, and then me. All right, girl, love you. I gotta go. Bye." If anything, that was my cry for help. I
so
was feeling bad. And she asked me about a fucking holiday. And that was, yeah, like within that week before. But I didn't sit down and orchestrate no damn hoax with her. And that's what she tried to turn it. She tried to make it more than what it was. And it was not that.
So, was there any written communication that w
No. About
okay.
no April Fool. You mean like about between me and Tracy planning the April Fools?
Yeah, between,
I
like,
ain't never talked to no, I ain't never typed nobody about making no plans for the April Fools because I do not celebrate holidays.
let's even take April Fools out of it. Was there
There was
any
never any joke about pretending about dying or playing
okay,
no prank on nobody. I was not a prankster. I was an educator. That's
okay.
what I was doing. What am I going to get out of pretending for? Well, I'm going to get sympathies and likes. You really think the girl that they calling, y'all call me arrogant and cocky and stuck up? You think I give a fuck about some likes? I'm not gonna play on people like that. And then let's just say somewhere in my mind I had lost half my mind. I decided to do some bullshit like that anyway. It would have been way better than that. Way better. First of all, I would have had to tell you about it. I couldn't come live on a video and say I just took some pills 5 seconds ago.
Mm.
I
Could you?
never said a thing about it. These people literally, Tracy got with my moderators and Five Babe and Tasha Kent, all them, and they made this shit up. They knew I was in the hospital to make it so bad. They knew I was in. Leah told him because I got screen recordings because they had a little mole. I got screenshots of conversations where they planned to talk about when she get out the hospital, we gonna put her back in it. I got on a screen a call recording of them in a group chat, and I'm calling Leah's phone like blowing it up because Leah had a heart problem, and so I thought I had done scared her by pulling this whole stunt and sent her to the hospital. So I'm scared as hell, and I'm calling her. She's laughing on the phone with all of them, saying, "Look at that bitch calling me from the hospital. When she get out, we gonna put her back in." Literally all of this.
Okay, so how about this, Mona? Tell me, like, because I want to understand, like, where were you at psychologically, as far as wanting to? I don't know if you took pills or whatever you took, during that time. I'm trying to be very sensitive to the subject, but where was your mental state?
My
And
mental state was down the toilet, flushed, gone through the sewage system way in New York, getting ate up by a rat somewhere. I didn't have hardly no good goddamn sense at the time. I was thinking some of the craziest shit. I was thinking shit that scared the fuck out of me. I
hmm,
tried to kill myself 4 times in the month of March. Four.
hmm. So
And
so
you think they think one was a hoax for them. The first time I ever tried to end my life, I was 12 years old. I was
mm,
diagnosed with major depressive disorder, suicidal and homicidal ideations at 12, Asperger's at 14. This ain't no new shit. My entire life, this probably like the umpteenth attempt. I can't never get it right. Cause women are kind of cowardice. We'll take pills and then they won't work. Like I ain't got the courage just to take a you know what and just bang bang. You
Well,
know.
I hope you never get it right. I honestly do, because you're saying it's external, and let's actually go into the psychology of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it was external forces, not like neurological,
Well,
right?
we got it. Yeah, we got to get into the spirit. Well, by that time though, I had gone so much and been wound up, and stretched thin so many times. By then, I'm pretty sure it was chemical because when you keep subjecting the body to
Right.
the stress and
Mhm.
cortisoids and stuff like that, and your serotonin and dopamine are so low because you're constantly experiencing negative emotions, negative experiences.
Yeah.
That does eventually, I believe, deplete you of your. You know what I'm saying? So I believe by then it was definitely chemical.
Yeah, you're draining yourself,
Yeah.
at that time, and anyone, even a person who doesn't have a history of it can experience,
With what I was going through.
depressive, or, depressive, like, feelings or feelings, even become manic depressive, like,
Lord.
so I totally understand that, but I'm saying, like, for you specifically, like, where you were at that point, because
I was
what I
gone
wanna
from
hit
it.
on is you're online, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
seeing the negativity because you also, when you
Mm-hmm.
went into the hospital, you had this list of the bullies. You
Mm-hmm.
named them bullies, right?
Right?
Um, and so being in the hospital, did that alleviate anything from not even being online? Or was it, how.
No, no. After I tried to take my life and I found out that I was trending online and people was lying on me, I was about to nut up in that hospital. No, it did not. It probably would have been a better experience had what happened online didn't happen to me. But I was so uncomfortable. I felt so out of control. Like people are literally lying on my character. And then there are people that care about me that is actually believing it. And these people are lying. I was very uncomfortable. I was angry. I had done got in an argument with the doctor. They was threatening to put me in solitude. They got this little room next behind the nurse's station. They was
Mhm.
threatening to throw me in there. And guess what? It ain't padded no more. It's
Mm.
brick.
Mm.
Like I was no, and I'm gonna tell you, when I got out, I still was not because it even takes psychiatric medicine like a couple of weeks to get in there good.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
I was only in there for like 4 or 5 days. And so when I got out, I was still very much a loose cannon, just a loose cannon on medication and trying to work through it. And for months after, and I started out recording some videos at first, and then I was like, you know what? I need to step back from this. I was like,
Okay.
I am never gonna heal unless I step back.
And that's kind of where I want to bring the conversation to. Stepping back from YouTube or like just social media, the pressure, and also seeing your name trending and seeing a lot of things probably helped alleviate, and I don't wanna speak words out of your mouth or put words into your mouth, probably helped alleviate some of that depression, like, lift it off of you, although you can't take
I think
away.
I know where you're going, and
Yeah.
you could correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
would say this, and this is probably mostly unorthodox. It was the haters that helped me realize that I needed to get better. And it was also, I found strength in you to get better. During, like, when people would still leave comments on my page and message me hateful stuff, that gave me strength. And it's toxic as hell, but I hated it. It made me angry, but it made me realize I couldn't let these people get the best of me. The reason why I decided to get off, because that day I started having thoughts again to try to end my life. And I decided I'm not going to let y'all have that. Y'all don't
Mhm.
even deserve that.
Right.
So y'all gave me a reason to fight and a reason to live. Insert villain origin story here. So
Oh,
for every hateful comment, it helped make me the woman I am today. And when you get to know this woman, if you don't like her, remember you had a hand in making her, because now I'm probably closer to the person that you accused me of being. And I'm not saying that's the best way to be. But I'm no longer that person that's just going to let people come into my life, take advantage of me, use me for my talent and my knowledge, then stab me in the back and use me for clicks and views. That's not going to happen no more.
okay.
Nor do
Uh,
I care what they say.
Understood. And, um, I I can definitely understand where you're coming from, as far as that, not allowing them, as far as people who have so much vitriol to say about you and, your circumstances when you're down and out, not letting them win. Where are you today as far as, like, you know, the
Mental health
idea.
wise, physical
Yes.
wise,
Yes.
everything. I'm amazing. I'm amazing. Now, my anemia was tripping a little bit, so I had to get a
Mhm.
few blood transfusions and iron infusions recently. But other
Mhm.
than that, I'm amazing. Mentally, I'm the strongest I've ever been. And I've
Excellent.
experienced a lot of deaths during COVID. I lost my grandmother, my kid's dad, a couple of uncles that happen to
Oh,
be
my
my favorite
condolences.
uncles too. Like I was mad. I was like, Am I doing something wrong, ancestors? Because y'all
Mhm.
keep taking on my favorite people. You could have
Yeah,
took Uncle Mike. Why you didn't take Uncle Mike? He don't mean
yeah,
nobody no good. Why you had to take my Uncle Jim? So anyway, I've been through a lot, but mentally, I'm better and I'm great. I'm good. I'm good.
good,
Physically, I'm 1,000% better because I finally, I healed from the back surgery, worked out a little bit, trying to get my back strong and in shape. I'm great. I've been drinking water, minding my business, clearing my skin, growing my hair.
good, excellent, excellent. So what brings us, to Mona, what we can see on the channel and what we can expect from you, despite everything that has happened, your history on YouTube, what can we expect?
I thought about 1,001 things I would do when I come back to the internet. Like I have a social media manager, right?
Mhm.
And she and I went back and forth. Something she was like, "No, Mona, you can't do that." Because I was thinking about some crazy shit at first, but I kept going back and forth. Like, do I want to do this? Do I want to do like a reality, like not a reality show, but like a docu series about polyamorous love? I thought about, and because I know a lot of people in the music industry, I thought about maybe interviewing more talent. I
Yeah.
stopped after Cardi because people attacked that girl, not even attacked her, but after I interviewed Cardi, she got so many emails with people trying to tell her, don't fuck with her, don't fuck with her, she this, she that. Like they harassed that girl. Then on top of that, they went around saying, telling everybody the interview was fake. And this and I said, I'm not finna ask another person that I know or know through another person to do something for me with the way that these people act. I didn't want anybody else's brand to
Mm.
suffer because I was being attacked. Because I need someone, once I get my shit together and this die down, I need to be able to say, hey, grab my hand and pull me up without bringing all this weight with me. So I
Right.
after Cardi, I was like, I'm not bringing out another celebrity to the beef sector at all. And it never dawned on them. They was never like, who is this girl and how she just get an interview with Cardi B? It never even crossed their mind to maybe put some strings together. And maybe this girl a little bit more than what she's telling us. They didn't give a
Mhm.
fuck. But I knew why I was being attacked. You know, I knew why Tasha was attacking me.
Got you. Understand. And like so right now, are you reinventing yourself or are you, remaining
Oh, that's such a great question.
okay, go ahead.
So check this out, right? So I got Asperger's, right? I was diagnosed
Yes.
at 14, so I'm neurodivergent,
Mhm.
different in a lot of ways, mostly in how I think, right?
Mhm.
Most of my life I spent doing what's called masking. I didn't even know it was a thing
Yeah.
because when I got diagnosed, my grandmother took me and I was like, Grandma, what's that? Ask me something he said I got. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it. Put it in God's hands. So I spent my entire life, and I'm not blaming my grandma. That's just how black people was back then. I
Right.
spent my entire life having difficult intimate relationships, trouble communicating in all different relationships, and feeling like it was always them and never me, because I made logical sense to my damn self, and they thinking crazy. I spent all that time not knowing that it was actually the Asperger's and the reason why I think like this. And I could have been getting help, which I have over the last couple of years, but I could have got help to deal with it differently. And also, I feel like most of my life I've been masking, and masking is sort of where you put on a different persona to fit in. People that are
Yes.
autistic, or like me, I'm high functioning, so it's not really noticeable until it is. And then you like, this girl a weirdo. Something about Mona is kind of off. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. I have Asperger's. So I've been masking and being what I felt society should would accept. You know, to a degree, I felt like I was still my own person, but I took that one little bitty persona and I overwhelmed you with that, and that's all you got. And I had to meditate after every live I did, meditate before live, because I know I had to go into this calm, coy personality. Mona, watch what you say. Don't make no jokes about death. Don't say anything morbid. Don't say anything too corny and nerdy. Don't do this. Like I had a list of don'ts, like a long list of don'ts.
Mhm.
And what I did after I went through that hate campaign, I'm like, they gonna hate me anyway. So I ripped up my list of don'ts. So now I do what I will. I do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Right.
And that's what I do. So I haven't changed. I haven't reinvented myself. I freed myself.
There you go.
Ain't that something? I tried to kill
I heard
myself and end
that.
up freeing
Yeah.
myself. Yep.
Yeah.
Everything has a purpose, even the weirdest things.
Yeah. I can totally understand that.
Hmm.
Just, from my fake certified experience of working with
I heard them say that. Girl, they're gonna say everything fake, girl.
no, no, but working with children with autism and
Hmm.
then seeing different videos because I still think about kiddos that I worked with
Aw,
that just bring a lot of just joy to my heart, just seeing the development and how they have
right.
improved so
Imagine
much,
if I
right?
had help from the age 14. I probably would be
Right.
so much
Yeah.
better.
And that, like, and that kinda, like, takes me, like, wow, like, what if, you did have people who understood, you
Right.
know like, okay, yep, you're different, and that's okay.
Right.
That's fine.
Instead
You
of
know,
she's a weird little eccentric black sheep of the family, you know.
exactly. Let's help you learn how to like live a healthy life outside of you having this, being on a
Hmm.
spectrum, right?
Right.
And I listened to a documentary of a lady who found out she had Asperger's when she was like well in her like it was like I think she was in her 20s,
Wow.
after right after she had a child, and she talked about the masking,
Yeah.
and I just, as a person not on the spectrum, right, can't
Hmm.
even, I can't imagine
It's
masking.
exhausting. It is exhausting.
Exactly.
Like, you know, and no lie, I know this is, I know people gonna say I'm a weirdo, but I gotta tell you this. You know how I learned how to mask too? By watching other people's facial expressions.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I have no filter. So if I'm just relaxed, like now, I threw away the filter too, child. That had to go again. But if you say something to me that I don't approve of, you're gonna immediately see it on my face. You know how some
Mhm.
people like to hold a facade? And I had
Mhm.
to learn not to do that. And I had to learn how to smile when other people smile. So everybody think I got the joke, even though I'm going through it through my head. Like, that don't even make no sense. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had to learn not to say those things. Like, one issue I used to have in relationships is people used to always say, Mona, you're too mean. You're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say that to people, Mona. And my logic was, but it's true though. Like, I
Right.
couldn't, like, I thought something was so wrong with them that they just couldn't accept the truth. Like, they talking about this feeling shit, and I'm telling you the truth. Take it, grow from it, whatever. Like, desensitize like a mug, or yeah, desensitize like a mug. and
Yeah.
and I had to go through that, and it wasn't till the doctor, when I tried to unborn myself, the doctor told me that a lot of times having Asperger's will actually perpetuate your depression because of your struggles and your difficulty communicating
Right.
and
Correct.
relationship stuff. I was like, oh wow, so wow, so y'all got this all figured out, and I have been struggling thinking my shit don't stink. Okay.
No, and that's kind of why I wanted to get into the crutch of where you were, like,
Mm-hmm.
prior to that rambunctious event you had, and how you were feeling. And I wonder
Mm-hmm.
if that had anything to do with it, because, and the reason, like, for a person who is not on the spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
equate it to this,
A
like,
neurotypical
and
person.
right, right. Yes, neurotypical. Equate it to this. Like when you're trying to, like, for example, like
Mm-hmm.
I'll give my own example. When I was in a different country, learning a different language, I
Mm-hmm.
had no idea what these people were saying. But when everybody laughed, I laughed. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's masking. Exactly it.
I had no idea what they were saying because I'm
Hmm.
learning a new language.
Lost in the sauce. But I don't want,
Exactly.
and not only for me, but yeah, I don't want to be outed as a weirdo, which I've been outed many times. Like, Mona's a little weird. She's a little off. She think differently. That's what my friends tell people about me. They be like, don't talk to Mona about your feelings. Talk to Mona about like the Pythagorean theorem. Sure, you could talk for hours about that.
I
So,
understand that, yeah.
yeah, because you start talking about feelings, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know, like, this ain't making no sense. And not that I don't have feelings, because I do. I'm as
No,
big as an empath that I can be, but it's
everyone
just
has
I care
feelings.
about what I care about, and the
Right,
shit that most people care about don't make sense to me. I don't see why they care about it, but that's not that they're wrong. It's just that we're different. We think different. We look at
exactly,
things different. So.
exactly, and we learn different as well.
Hmm.
And so, I'm kinda bringing to the audience who've never experienced, being on the spectrum or knowing anyone, that is on the spectrum, especially as an adult.
Hmm.
Like, just think of you going into a different country and
Hmm.
having to mask and having to do that sometimes 24/7, depending
Hmm.
on your occupation, depending on where, like how you live or how many people are around you. That gets draining after a while. It
Yeah.
really does. And you just want to be you.
Hmm.
And I mean, that can be, can cause depression in and of itself if
Right.
it's not under control. So I totally understand that. Um, would you like me to drop the link in case anyone has any questions. I don't want to do any arguing, fighting, or anything in case
If
someone has.
only if I'm familiar with the person and I know
Okay,
they're gonna ask a straight up question. So if anybody wants to join in the comments, you could say your name. Other than that, I'm not gonna argue with nobody. People, I don't want to have a debate with somebody trying to explain myself to someone who's not listening anyway. Like I don't have time to convince somebody that has already committed to not believe in me. That's
okay,
fine. You have your thoughts, take them with you. You know,
okay.
sleep with them at night and hug them. But if anybody has a genuine question that wants to come up, just let us know and y'all can come up. If not, you know, this
Uh,
was really good live. I enjoyed speaking with you. Yeah,
Excellent.
Pizarro told. Did you know Pizarro told me we should link up?
I know she said that, but well, she told
Hmm.
us we should link up in a different type of way. I'm like, you know what?
Oh, she was saying a gay way,
But
but you
she
know, I
messy.
took that she was just saying that to piss off Dory, and she was really just saying that
She
we had because she also was saying we have a lot in common with the psychology, and we could
right.
probably link up and do something. I think she was just playing about that part.
And I think that, definitely in the future, we should have more conversations, about this as well, because I think we'd have, like, really good,
Yeah,
like,
anytime.
conversations about
Oh, you know
psychology.
what, Allie?
Yes,
I
yes,
never finished your question. You was like, "What am I going to be doing on my channel?"
yes,
So
okay,
I'm going to be getting back to the education to start, and I'm gonna
excellent.
test the water, see how they do with talking. And you know how I deliver my education. It's not like some stuck up. Look, I'm better than you. I got 7 degrees. Sit down and listen to me. It's not like that. It's very down to earth. Even in conversation, I don't code switch. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever. Even if I can pronounce the long ass words. And I'm just gonna have round tables, have some of my friends make discussions, have fun, and we'll do that and invite people up, let people re get to know me, and
Yeah,
know me for me to actually want to get to know me. And we'll do that for a while, probably through the rest of the year. But then because I do have a background in film and I have connections that I could surely take advantage of now. Like I think a lot of people owe me one because I ain't calling no favors when I was going through 2019. It's a couple of people that did offer, but I was like, no, no, I can't do that. It's real bad. Like it is real bad. That's what I
yeah.
used to tell people. It's really bad. Like these people want blood. Like they are hungry, and so after that, I plan on doing some things in music. There's a few things that
Oh,
I'm thinking to do, but I haven't because I love music. I'm a music connoisseur. Anybody knows that about me? I have my headsets on like 24/7. I'm always listening to music, and because of well, I'm gonna stop saying that, but I just want to maybe start doing some interviews or maybe create some videos or something creative with artists. But I want to do something different than what most people do. Most people get artists up and they ask them the same thing over and over again. But because I'm the brain of the Brain Nation, a critical thinker, I want to ask them like off the wall questions. Like if I interview B.O.B., and he's a rapper out of Atlanta, I would talk to him about the flat earth theory because he's deeply
yeah,
into that. And I want
yeah,
to show that this talent, that these people that are creators and talent, they're more than one trick ponies. They're not one trick ponies. They know a lot. And I know that from even the conversations with Cardi. That girl is smart in a lot of ways. And people think we have this European mindset when it comes to intelligence. Like I've heard people say, no way she got 7 degrees because look how she talk. I don't code switch purposely. I can sound very valley corporate girl, but I don't do that because I it's misleading. It makes little girls like me when I was little think that I could never be in a high paying position because I don't see anybody like me. So I want little girls to see me. I want them to see me. I hope that I don't give bad examples, but I want them to see me not code switching so that they
mhm,
know this is a place that they too belong and they can too get 7 degrees and they can too get a six-figure job or whatever. Like I don't
yeah.
code switch no more. So and I cuss a lot too and I tell jokes, so that's always funny.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna invite, I'm gonna put the link in, but before someone comes up, I'm gonna ask if it's okay with you, in case someone wants to click the link and you guys can have the conversation.
I want you to go get some sleep. Who me? I Oh, do you still want me to look at the chat?
Oh, you
The
can look
six
at the
degree
chat.
Henny Wise said, "What's the 6 degrees?" Henny Wise, you better not make a video picking on me and my damn degrees. First of all, I have to preface it with I'm not necessarily proud of the degrees. The reason why I got 7 degrees is because I started out in one subject, thought I wanted know what I wanted to do, changed my mind, and then went back to the original shit that I started out to do. So I didn't waste the time because I learned a lot. But 4 of them degrees didn't even have to happen, dog. Like about $50,000 to navigate don't even got to be on the books if I'd have just stayed the course. So I
Mm.
started in business. I was well. The first thing I started was computer information system. Girl, back then it was before like social media and all that. I didn't see a future in it. I'm not
Oh,
Bill
you would
Gates. I
be
didn't see a future.
booming right
I
now, right?
what? I would be not on YouTube. So
That was the Igga in you, for
that was
real.
the stupidest thing I ever did. I dropped out of and I could
Like,
write HTML code, everything. Like we had DOS screens back then.
right,
Girl,
right,
I dropped out of information technology and information computers and all that, and I decided to go to school for business. So I was working towards my undergrad degree in business. I picked up a liberal arts degree on the way because you know you get a certain credits, you can get your little
right,
associates.
correct.
But my
Yeah.
major is really business. So I'm in school of business. I get my undergrad degree, and I'm
Mhm,
doing kind of well in business. Like I'm the manager of an insurance firm. You know, I've always worked in like financial services or accounting or something like that, and I'm
mhm.
a senior fraud analyst now. And my friend
Don't
tells me
don't tell
one.
too much about
Oh, they
yourself.
already know that. They already know that. I don't ever
Okay,
tell
yeah.
where. Like, trust me, I know.
Okay,
I've
okay.
been halfway
Be
done.
careful, hon, be
So
careful.
no, I'm good. So my friend tells me one day, "You're selfish. You make such a good counselor or therapist. You should be in school for psychology. You could be writing books, and you're just worrying about money." Because I was bragging on like one of my commission checks. It was like $10,000, and that was a lot back then. And she
Mhm.
was telling me how selfish I was, and I was like, "Damn, she right." So when I went back to school, I went to school for psychology, and I double majored in psychology and religion. Now I did this whole business degree, but this school told me that they couldn't transfer over like almost all of the credits from
Oh,
the business degree,
yeah.
even though they both are regionally accredited. So I had essentially it was like I had to either take all these classes or start over, and it was about the same amount of time. And you can get a Pell Grant with an undergrad. So I was like, cool, fuck it, I'll do it all over again. I'll do the 4 years in the psychology. So I did that, double majored in psych and religion. Boom, got that. Now that's 4 degrees so far. If you count the liberal arts, if you don't count the liberal arts, it's still 3 degrees. Business degree, undergrad. Psychology degree, undergrad. Religion degree, undergrad. Then the
Mm.
religion and psychology on the same paper, but it was two majors, not a minor. I took all the full classes for both.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and then I went into my master's where you get into translating the Hebrew and the Aramaic and all that for
Right.
religion,
Yep.
writing these long ass theses, writing these 100-page fucking theses for psychology. Psychology is a lot of writing, doing this
Yes.
research, running research, and we used to either do it online or go out in the field and like do like I'm a student at such and such college and we're just asking this question. You know, you have to all psych majors have to do that like little I forget what they call it, but it's like your own what is it called, your own project, so to speak, your own psychological project. Some people get published, some people don't. So I got my master's in psych and religion, two double majors, still did all the classes for both. It took me a little over a year. So that's 4, 5, 6 degrees. Now around the time I got my master's in psych and religion, not at long after that, I started going through this shit on YouTube. And somewhere throughout that experience, I decided, fuck people. I don't want to do therapy. I don't want to become a psychiatrist. I don't want to, because I was looking at having to go to med school to become a psychiatrist and all
Right.
this
You have
stuff.
to go to med school.
Right.
Correct.
And I'm like, nah, fuck people. I'm
And that
going,
and
I'm a,
that's what I get annoyed with, where people are
mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, you're a no, psychiatrists, they have to go to med school, just
Right.
like medical doctors,
Mm-hmm.
and they prescribe medication. Psychologists are different. Psychologists, depending on if you're grandfathered in, have a doctoral, degree in psychology.
Yeah,
That
and you
is
may or may not be able to
psychology.
write prescriptions in some states, and or you can have a side degree. They got them now. That
Yeah,
I don't know.
yep,
No
the
offense to
psy
anybody
yeah,
with a side degree.
PsyD.
I just when they told me about that one, I was like, I want a PhD. Like I'm old school. Like I got to have PhD. But apparently it's the same thing though. It's pretty much the same
It's the
thing.
same thing. I mean, you get the same credentials, because really it's all about the licensure.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which one, whether it's the PhD or the PsyD or
Right.
whatever. I prefer to do the PsyD, because
Mm-hmm.
it's less
Less intense.
Right, and then
Yeah.
plus you get a lot more of the clinicals in
Yeah,
there,
see that
you
that's
know?
definitely good if you're going to if you're going into
Yeah,
research, then it might be a little different. So you
right.
might want something,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
like
Yeah,
how I
PhD is
did it.
more yeah, it's
Yeah.
more, research based as
So
opposed to yeah, the PsyD, which is more, clinical based.
right.
Yes.
And I
But
wanted to research as a foundation because I really wanted to get into human sexuality and sexual orientation and be able to explain these things to people. Because when I
mhm.
got my psychiatric degree, I was also going to work with the LGBT community and
Yeah,
people struggling with their own sexual identities. And
yeah.
so, but then I decided, nah, forget people. And I doubled back and got an MBA. I got an MBA in 2019, and it's with an emphasis in project management. So it's a MBA.PM. And I'm cool right here. I've been looking around at doctorate programs, but I might get a DBA, like a doctorate in business, but to be
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, with an MBA, I can go far. I don't really need a DBA,
Yeah, you
you
don't
know.
you yeah,
But
like
I might get it just for bragging rights. So I don't know.
it's either for bragging rights
I'm a
or if
doctor
you
of
want
math.
right, or if you want to be a professor at a college or university,
Some
really.
of them take master's degrees though, but
Right, right.
you get paid more if you got that doctorate.
Exactly, but,
Yeah,
I mean, you would be an instructor if you have the master's degree, you
right.
know?
Professor
Yeah,
if you got the doctorate degree, right? Yeah,
exactly.
so those are my 7 degrees, and that whole middle, I could have left that. I could have got the undergrad degree in business. I don't know why I got the liberal arts. I'm just greedy. When they said I qualified for it, I put in the application for the degree. But I would have had an undergrad degree in business and an MBA. But I did all that. But I don't really regret it. I just regret the money that I owed them for the grad degrees
Right,
because
right,
I
right.
learned so much in religion. Like when I started, I was a Christian. When I left, I'm a heathen. Like I learned a lot. And I didn't just study Christianity. I studied all of the religions, East and West. There's
Mhm.
almost no religion you can bring up that I don't know something about or had to write a paper on. Like I took it seriously.
Right.
And I learned a wealth of things in psychology, some about myself. A lot of people go into psychology because they want to learn more about the mind, especially if they've had struggles or know someone that has had struggles.
Right,
And a lot of people
exactly.
say,
It's very true.
how can you be a life coach if you was depressed, or you can get depressed, or you've been depressed? Would you really want to sit and tell somebody about all your struggles that can't relate, that ain't never been there? I mean, you can. They might be helpful, but I tell you who really gonna be helpful: the girl who been there where you been. And
Mhm.
we're all different, but I've always, like I say, I date women with a little bit of a past. Like I like girls who done live, who done been through life, and they ain't perfect. I don't like dating perfect people because you can't relate to me because I'm not perfect. And it took me, when I was younger, I went through therapy like around my mid 20s after my nervous breakdown. I had a nervous breakdown when I was 22, catatonic and all. And I went through around the age of 25. I went through therapy for a couple of years, and I went through a few therapists because one white man fell asleep on me. The white lady thought everything in my life was horrible. Like, oh my gosh, where were your parents? Oh my gosh, that happened. Like I was traumatizing this lady with my life stories, and then I finally found this black woman, and she was originally from the island. She came over. She lived in Florida at a young age, and she grew up in the projects. She got it. She got it. She
Mm.
was able to help me, advise me and she was very professional too. Very professional. And she really helped me. It took me about 5 or 6 months before I started telling her all my business because we don't trust everybody. And I wasn't sure if she was gonna be, whitewashed and, not in touch. So but no, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so
awesome.
those are my 7 degrees for whoever asks. And contrary to popular belief, I don't really brag on them. I only brag when y'all say I'm bragging, then I gotta be an asshole. Like, I'm the greatest. I got all these degrees. I owe all this money to Nazareth. Dollar sign on the Symone on the cash app. I owe about 100 and some thousand dollars. And somebody talking about I called your alma mater. They say you ain't graduate from there. That's a goddamn lie. Because if they said that, tell them erase that motherfucking bill then. That's what they can do. If I go there, I will take that baby. Erase the
That's funny.
whole crap. And
That's
then, but
funny.
it's so crazy because they say that, but then they also got my information off Navient because some of it is public information, and you can literally see all the money I owe in the schools I graduated from. So I don't get people. It's like somebody needs to come together so all the information can funnel through one source and everybody can see everything, because it just be crazy all over the place.
No, no, I understand. I absolutely understand. Anything else before we close
That's
out?
pretty much it, babe. I didn't realize we would talk about it. I thought we was gonna talk about recently and Dory and stuff. But that's
Oh,
cool. No,
no,
I
I'm
liked it. It was nice. I don't miss an opportunity to hit a link and of course talk about 2019, because that's my testimony. That's what I've been through. You know, they
right.
gave that to me because a lot of people are like, why are you still talking about it? Hey, if you ask me about it, I'm gonna talk about it. I feel I never wanted to be the spokesperson for Suicide Girls. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I really didn't. I didn't feel like that was a good look for my brand, because I'm supposed to be the strong one, right? And even
Right.
though just because you want to end your life doesn't mean that you're weak, because I didn't see myself as being weak. In fact, I don't even believe in death. I believe death is a myth. We're made out of atoms. We can't be destroyed. I just no longer wanted this life anymore. And I know that sounds like I need to call my psychiatrist right now, but that's what
No,
I was
I
thinking.
get what you're saying.
Yeah, I wasn't
I
thinking,
get.
oh, I'm gonna put myself out for the rest of my life. I was thinking, no, I need to check out of this dimension right now. This ain't working. Reincarnate me somewhere else and not on
Mhm.
Earth. So I wasn't really sad about it. I was sad about what I was going through. So I
Yeah.
don't think that that's good. I don't think that that's a good way to. That's why I shy away from that. Telling people that I wasn't really sad about trying to kill myself, because it can be triggering, and everybody don't think like that. Most people are
Mhm.
sad and they're really sad that they're choosing to do it. I'm not. I wasn't. I was more upset that it didn't work.
Yes. And well, I'm very glad that you're in a better place
Yeah.
as far as psychologically, emotionally.
Hmm.
Um, and I hope anytime you feel that way, please, before you even think about doing anything, the national hotline, you have people who care about you tremendously. And then what I would definitely say is shut this whole YouTube, this
And thing,
internet
right?
down.
I'll be honest with you.
Mhm.
Like, most people, when they're ready to do something that drastic,
Drastic.
they don't
Mhm.
they don't tell anybody. And I can't see myself, the type of person that I am, once it gets that far, reaching out for help, because it's too far gone. But I will say this: I don't think that I'll become suicidal again, and largely because my kids have lost their father. And
Mm.
that, if I even feel myself crying one day over watching a commercial or something where a dog got hit by a car, I will be right back at my psychiatrist so fast. I will be calling to make an appointment. So what I'll try to do is stop it before it get there. But if it
Good.
sneak up on me, I can't make no promises. I'm just, that's just what it is. But I tell you what, if one day comes when I'm no longer here, like, I don't want nobody crying. I don't want nobody talking about, oh, we should have believed her. None of that. None of that. Just help other people. Like, don't do what you did to me to other people. Like, stop doing fucked up shit to other people for clicks and views. Stop lying on people. Stop passing around hurtful rumors just because, from your perception, you think that this person deserves it. You think this person, because I can tell you, if you look on my community wall, there's a photo of Prince Harry. And it shows at the top, the pictures look like he's shooting a bird. And then the bottom photo is from a different angle, and he's holding up the last three fingers. He's not even shooting a bird. And that's much like life. Like,
Right.
you see things through your own bias and your own perception. And a lot of people that hate me, they say, well, I know because I got a sister this or I got a brother that. The moment you say you gotta, you don't even see me. You see what you got. So stop doing that to other people. And what goes around comes around, because the same way y'all dish it out, it's gonna come back to you eventually. I don't watch
Mm.
everybody around here that attack me be attacked, be doxxed. Probably none as worse as I have, or maybe a couple. But it just goes around and goes around. There is so much, and I'm preaching now, but there is so much we could be doing with this platform we've been given. There's so many minds that we could be reaching. There's so many ways that we can be giving back that you would feel great about. And if
Mhm.
you're hurting and you're miserable, and that's why you're getting online spreading your misery and your unhappiness, go get help. Don't wait until you about to off yourself or off somebody else to go get help.
Hmm.
It's not cute, and none of y'all don't know nobody. I only got a couple of people on here that I either met on here that met in real life, and people that I know that I consider real friends. The rest of y'all just friendlies. I don't know y'all. Stop acting like y'all know people, cause you don't. But that's it, Ali.
Well said, darling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I be
you.
preaching sometimes. I be on my Mahatma Gandhi, even though he was racist. You heard Mahatma Gandhi was racist?
I never heard that.
Yep. He look it up. Google when we get off was Mahatma Gandhi racist. There was a slang for black people in India that was like the equivalent of niggers, the word niggers, and he
Uh-huh.
used to use that against black people in his ideology. Now I did see later in life he made a speech about how he used to think this way about people and he had to grow. So maybe he changed before he died, but he definitely was a racist at one point, or at least racially intolerant. And Mother Teresa was a pain freak. She used to inflict pain upon people for
Oh,
punishment,
wow.
and a
I
lot
I
of it,
haven't heard that.
yeah,
I
you
haven't heard
won't,
that.
because the people, the narrators and the people that control the storylines, they're gonna lie to you, and we all grew up believing it. Just like my situation, just like other situations. If you don't have
Right.
full control of your
Correct.
situation, false narratives will be spread. But I'm glad with the advent of the internet, it's like the
Hmm.
world is flat and information it gets out so much. Like I love this shit because I love the research. But yeah, look it up. Mahatma Gandhi was racist, and Mother Teresa was a pain freak. She was brutal. I heard. With like
Before
they got evidence too.
before you leave, is there anything else you would like to say to the audience and to any new subscribers, supporters that'll be coming through? Did you hear me? Hello? Are you there?
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, she dropped off. But I dropped the link. I see no one wants to hit the link, which is totally fine. And we can really here she is back. Hello.
Hey, sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna
Okay.
wrap it up.
Yep.
I
Before
gotta
you
take
go,
this call. Yeah.
I give you the floor, and I'm gonna go on mute.
Oh, I don't know if I got enough to say that you got to stay on mute for, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't like me, that's fine. If you like me, make sure you subscribe, turn your bell on. Everybody ain't for everybody, and I ain't for everybody, and I'm okay with that. Trust me. But make sure you subscribe. Check me out sometime. I think a lot of people have been jaded by who they think I am and what they think I am. And if you're at least willing to find out, then come find out. Stop listening to people that you know, like Tracy, that done lied and been caught in lies. Stop believing the lies that people are telling you. Don't be so gullible, especially when you know money's involved and people are using it for clicks and views. Y'all got to stop being so gullible and naive. And also, nah, I'll say that later. I think I preach too much about that all the time. But yeah, check me out at Mona Simone ATL everywhere. And in the About Me section of my page is contact information. So if you want to call me, text me, email, whatever, all of that information is right there and where to find me. So yeah, just come check me out. That's it. I ain't really have much else to say outside of that.
All right, sounds good. And Mona Simone's, we had the link going through the chat. Her link is also in the description box, along with the join, so that you can be a member.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
yes,
I don't know. I think I'm supposed to get him like some gifts for being, I think I'm supposed to get him like some gifts for being a member or something. I got to refigure that out. Cause like I remember I signed up to offer memberships a long time ago. And never mind, I'm just talking out loud. I got to go check that out. But yeah, you can join and I'll figure out something, child. I might, give you a piece of gum or something I got, or you can have a cigarette if you want one. I don't know. I got to give y'all something. An emoji. Yeah, like last time. So, all
Oh,
right, babe. Thank
sounds
you for having
good.
me.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and we got to collab soon, but we'll be in touch.
Yes, we
All
will.
right.
Most
Bye bye.
definitely. All right. Have a good night. Thank you. All right. That was Mona Simone, ATL. Her link is in the description. And I will drop the link one more time before heading out and giving kind of my assessment of everything. So we will definitely give a little bit time. Let's put on some music a little bit. You guys like what, 2 minutes? See if anybody hits the link. Thank you all. I appreciate that. MJK. Thank you, Coco. Thank you, Mr. Outside. Team AJ, the building, Maverick, Mildred. Yes. Hey, Mildred. RN, Libra Sun, Goddess, Tracy Case. Hey, boo. I wanted to give you the opportunity if you wanted to come up, but of course, it's your choice, and you have your platform, and I know how you roll, boo. So no worries. We got Miss Kept Secret, Miss Joan. Yes. A lot of people coming through. Bizarro, I saw you. Prayed up. Thank you so much for coming through. You and Coco, and also Catherine coming through and holding everything down. Cold Brew, thank you so much. Appreciate you, sweetheart. So bomb. Nanya, Pennywise, Chanel, yes, and Chanel came through. Shay Beezy, Beverly, Shay L. Just going through some of these names right before I shut it down. Miss Ellie's sister. Yes. Blessings to everyone. And let me shut the music down here. I appreciate everyone for coming through. You guys are all amazing. Nobody really got out of hand, and I appreciate that. Hey. I mean, I couldn't. And happy birthday to Unfiltered Muffy. I have to sing happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Muffy. Happy birthday to you. All right. So, yes, sweetheart, and many more, many more. So from everything, Mona was able to, kind of get out to different audience, everything that she was feeling, some of my questions as well, because I saw a video of hers that she sent to me, and then I also saw some other videos, and I actually I like to just hear from the person themselves, and you know, um, if that is her perspective, there's nothing that I can take away from it, and there's nothing that I can add into it. And I will say that because I will give anybody else the same respect anytime they do an interview with me, unless they're like some type of like axe murderer or like crazy person that needs to be in a prison or something like that. That would be different, right? But hey, Sassy. Oh, you're leaving. Aw. But thank you all for coming. Hey, Team AJ. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you all. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Tomorrow is Friday. I wonder what I'm going to get into. Probably going to get into some F ish, some Igga ish. I'll create a new word. I'm gonna get into some Igga-ish tomorrow. Okay. When I'm being like super good, I gotta at least get into some Igga-ish. So that's probably what I would be doing tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll see. But thank you guys again. Chat later. Adios.